fought the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. All content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil. You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilantes calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Promise lost in Nintendo's dream, delusional faith blinded by the gleam. Defends every flaw like it's a sacred cause, but his blind devotion's just breaking laws. Player SS brings no honor or pride, throws family shade when he's running to hide. No integrity, just bitterness and spite, but the vigilante's here to set it right. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Cast guys, fake words can't hold the line. Sony fanboys smoke, but his reviews don't shine. Switch for shields, a corporate game, selling hype and spin while we call out the shame. Dark trays and Nintendo fanboys stuck on repeat, says the same old lines like a broken beat. Recycling words, no fresh insight, but we break through the noise and bring the fight. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. If you're tired of fake, if you're done with the spin, join the fight, let the real talk begin. We're here for the truth, no need to hide, so make sure to like and subscribe. I'm the angry vigilante here to fight the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. All content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil. You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Promise lost in Nintendo's dream, delusional faith blinded by the gleam. Defends every flaw like it's a sacred cause, but his blind devotion's just breaking laws. Player SS brings no honor or pride, throws family shade when he's running to hide. No integrity, just bitterness and spite, but the vigilante's here to set it right. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Cast guys, fake words can't hold the line. Sony fanboys smoke, but his reviews don't shine. Switch for shields, a corporate game, selling hype and spin while we call out the shame. Dark trays and Nintendo fanboys stuck on repeat, says the same old lines like a broken beat. Recycling words, no fresh insight, but we break through the noise and bring the fight. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. If you're tired of fake, if you're done with the spin, join the fight, let the real talk begin. We're here for the truth, no need to hide, so make sure to like and subscribe. fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil. You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilantes calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Homelessness lost in Nintendo's dream, delusional faith blinded by the gleam. Defends every flaw like it's a sacred cause, but his blind devotion's just breaking laws. Player SS brings no honor or pride, throws family shade when he's running to hide. No integrity, just bitterness and spite, but the vigilante's here to set it right. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast.
Hello everybody, how is it going? Sorry, I had you guys waiting a little too long. Yes, we are starting it early because I unfortunately have stuff to do. So that's why we are starting it early. So how is everybody doing today? Alrighty, we got Plasma Fight. Oh boy, here we go again with the childish Nintendo fanboys. Oh, you know it, man. Let me guess, but it sold 10 million. Why are my views just 10? Now, surprisingly, some of them actually got some views, Smash Monkey, but they're not getting amazing views. Powerman UK, hey AB, hey everyone. Hey, how's it going, Powerman? Raymond YouTube 1, hello everyone. So, can everybody hear me? Let me make sure. Let me grab my trusty phone to make sure that we can hear me clearly. Because I remember one time I rambled on for like 10 minutes before someone finally told me something was up with my audio one time. So I always got to double check. Let's double check here. Come on, you stupid thing. There we go. Trusty phone to make sure. Yep. I heard myself crystal clear. Oh, but you guys, guess what? I got a comment yesterday from somebody, and you would not believe what they called me. Out of all the things you can call the vigilante, this person called me a Nintendo fanboy. Can you believe it? Out of all the criticism I have levied towards Nintendo, I'm a fanboy? No, absolutely not. They must got me confused with Player Essence. But first off, we are going to start with none other than Primey. We are doing Primey's podcast because Primey decided to involve the whole podcast into his little bit of drama. Now, I do not know what goes on behind closed doors. I do not know if Primey is going, as more people are going after him. I don't know if more people criticize his podcast, but to my knowledge, I am the only one to ever react to their podcast. I could be wrong. There could be some other people. But like I said, to my knowledge, I'm the only one, and I have never came at the other ones. But, you know, me and Primey have gone back and forth a few times here and there on different platforms, you know, and I sat here, called him an influencer, said it's because of him, and I said you guys, but apparently maybe he took it as when I said you guys, oh, I was talking about his podcast. Anybody watches my videos, they will know damn well when I say you guys, I am not talking about Thunderstash. I am not talking about Gamebird Classic or Eric Moore. In no way was I ever referring to them when I said to you guys. He knows damn well I'm referring to Player Essence. He knows I'm referring to Harmon Smith. Harmon Smith don't really have any influence, if we're being honest. But he knows I'm referring to Doc Trey, Switch Force, all of them. In no way was I referring to his podcast. But before we get into it, let's read off some message. I want to know how much of the 10 million was US, Japan sales, and Europe sales. If I remember correctly, it was like 2-point-something million in Japan, but the real question is how much were those of the region lock console that you got for really cheap? Haha, you a fanboy as if exactly. Prime has been seeking a Nintendo sponsorship as if it's the holy grail. You know, I'm pretty certain if Nintendo offered him a sponsorship, I don't think he would turn it down. But I remember you tagged me in that thing. But like I said on X, I would say he's more of a Zelda fanboy, if anything. So you could give him a mediocre Zelda game and he will hype it to the max. That's just him. Harmon is the chosen one, the one that will usurp Prime. No. I think Nuki has a better chance to go there than Harmon does, even though Harmon usually makes better sense. Surprisingly, I'm actually saying this. Harmon makes better sense than Nuki Nintendo, but Nukem at least has a better speaking voice. Alrighty, let's get into this. Nukem Nintendo, Maximus 24.
People are taking some big L's. Wait, what? What people? Nintendo derangement syndrome people.
Oh,
we're getting to this
Nintendo
speech
derangement
that I apparently had a small co-writer on. Grifting, spinning positive news stories to negative, and possible NDS behavior has been dominating the Switch 2 space since before launch came out. While legitimate criticism has been lobbed towards Nintendo, including frustrations with prices going up and maybe some dissatisfaction with some game quality, certain policies, once that criticism was out of the way, it kept moving. You have people blaming content creators, including...
No, so all of this, so you are literally including, if we criticize content creators for them making piss poor decisions, that's Nintendo Switch 2 derangement syndrome. You are seriously adding this stuff into it, Primey? Oh my God.
This very podcast for the state of the video game industry, that we are at fault for the rising prices and lower...
No one was blaming your podcast. Stop. Okay. But if we're getting technical, all of us who bought the games, who were okay with the prices, even I'm at fault because I allowed it to happen with PlayStation. I paid for the $70 games when I shouldn't have. I bought games that were overpriced when I shouldn't have. So even I'm at fault, but I can recognize it, unlike you.
For quality output. And that everyone on the show, be it the host or the guest, were just massive corporate bills.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say really Thunderstash and Gamebird are really massive shows, but some of the guests you bring on are definitely massive shows. N64 Josh, sorry to tell you, you are a massive show. I forgot to tag you in this one. I'll remember to do that afterwards. Eric Moore, he don't really talk enough. I have no idea what goes on in Eric Moore's head. He barely talks.
We have seen sales data that is nothing but positive get twisted to be negative, and it's happening again after the latest results, which are unprecedented. Using arguments.
Primey, sitting here saying that there's a difference between the sell in and sell through data, because even you acknowledged it in your video and I actually shouted you out for at least being honest, that is not spinning it into a negative way. That's just being honest. It's not our fault that most of your brethren don't know how to be honest and don't have any integrity.
It's like others were sold out. This isn't, so it's bad, which is just downright silly given what Nintendo is doing, unprecedented both in results, but also strategy. No matter what Nintendo does, it's wrong, even when it's right. Of course, toxic positivity exists as well, where people pretend everything is carrots and... There it is. Found it. Happy where the edit was put in. I think I figured it out.
There we go, dude. I told you it was subtle. You probably wouldn't even notice.
Yes, he did, Django Fett. Didn't he bring that one guy who literally said jack the price up to 90 for the next Smash Bros game? Yes, he did. I forgot what his name is, but I know he wore glasses. Well, if I'm being honest, 4 out of the 5 people on here are wearing glasses right now. Wouldn't it surprise me if Primey's wearing contacts. But yeah, he did bring him on here, and I blasted the hell out of that guy.
Wait, that's not me. All right. Anyways, it also doesn't help that I now associate.
Good morning, Matthew Buckley.
With you forever now. So I knew I wasn't writing about you. So there we go. Often this show gets labeled this way, despite numerous criticisms being brought up on this very show towards Nintendo's actions, and obviously.
I've never labeled this show as that. Maybe there are some other people, but like I said, I do not know of a single other Salt content creator that has ever reacted to this show. So he's probably talking about people that are going on X, that are like keyboard warriors, that are constantly blasted. That's what I'm assuming this has to be, because there is no way he's trying to say that I have sat here and called this show that.
Critique of the games themselves. Honestly, we could go over more. So what are our thoughts on all of this? Do we have a message to these sorts of people? Do they have a point? Is there something greater going on? Thunderstash Gaming and Gamer last week brought up this idea. Could be some mental illnesses happening in some select cases.
We could say the same thing about you guys when it comes to accepting these trash games and hyping them up, that there might be some mental illness in select cases also.
They're gonna say everyone's that way. Does this explain it all? Or is something else at play? Could this simply just be console wars just ramping up to 1,000? Let's discuss them.
I mean, the only console warring going on is you guys. You guys are the ones. Well, I'm not saying the show, but I'm talking about Primey and Player Essence and Switch Force. You guys are the ones that are sitting here console warring all the damn time.
The latest discourse. And I'll just say this. We had a thing earlier, and if you look in the thumbnail, it's got this giant glass of haters' tears. And this is an appropriate topic because there's been a lot of crying the last 24 hours. My cuppeth is full.
Not really. Who's been crying? All you guys have been waiting for Nintendo to release his video. That's all you guys have talked about. Who is out there that has any, like, what content creator out there crying? Oh, great. It's Dwan Davis. Angry Vigilante. Do not forget. Trust me, Dwan Davis. We could never forget about like one of the channel's favorite viewers. We all know that you're a fanboy. We all know that you're a huge fan of my channel. It's all good, man. Raymond YouTube 1, Angry Vigilante Show. I don't like to be that guy, but please call it Twitter. Okay, fine, Twitter, whatever. You know, sometimes I call it Twitter, sometimes I call it X. It just sometimes slips out. I don't care what Elon Musk says, we're still calling it Twitter. Okay. Oh yeah, DeJuan Davis. Whatever happened to that video? You told me you were making a video, man. I don't understand. Maximum 2400. Django Fett 117. Primey's being a little passive aggressive with that. He's always being passive aggressive until he tries to play victim. AVS Nintendo is gonna unite the Nintendo fanboys to ignite a civil war. Oh, maybe. Honestly, you know, if you look at it, they were all scattered, run away, hiding. And when they all screwed up, when they all sat here and damaged the community, they all sat here, ran after one person, and it's like equally are attacking just left, right, and center, you know. And a lot has to do with it. Like, I don't think Nintendo was just picked out of nowhere. You know, I think it has a lot to do with that. He blew up. He went viral. They weren't going to go after Fertanga. There's no way they would go after Fertanga. Fertanga would have clapped back. They looked at Nintendo. They knew he didn't make our type of content. So they went after him thinking that he was going to be a pushover. And so far, he's not. He's ramping it up. He's starting to fight back a little. They're all going to rally against Nintendo. And that's what I mean. Oh, they are. Oh, Matthew Buckley sent a gifted membership. Say, everyone, thank you to Matthew Buckley. Thank you so much, man.
So we're going to do some haters' tears.
Yes, for Tanga
Let that N64 Josh go. What do you think about all this?
Okay, just so you know, I edited out the part that N64 Josh was. So if you're watching this N64 Josh, I didn't want to put your part in there because you say some kind of personal stuff. And I don't mess around with that stuff, so you don't need no unnecessary attention for something like that. So that's why I cut you out.
I mean, people make their choices, you know, and
very true.
I think some of the stuff has to do with they want to be quote unquote right with their choices. So
exactly.
And one way of doing that is by tearing down the other things, and to make.
I mean, like, are you trying to say that people are buying it and then they're tearing it down? No, I mean, Eric, that doesn't really make any sense.
Them feel like they made the correct decision in what platform they chose, instead of just enjoying all of them or, you know, whatnot. So I think that's kind of where part of it comes from. I think there's just a lot of things out there nowadays that things are hard. So it's I think part of that has to do with that as well, where, you know, people can't afford things and, you know, you see prices going up on a whole bunch.
I mean, it has nothing to do with not being able to afford them, Eric, is that they're unnecessarily being raised. That's where we're having a problem with it. I have no problem on being able to afford these overpriced stuff. I literally have a PS5, I have a gaming laptop, and I have a Switch too. I have no problem being able to. I'm just a cheapskate, and I know these games do not have to be at this price. Maximum 2,400. The best way to clap back for Nintendo is to collab with the homies. I mean, he could, but see, I've reached out to him. He said he was kind of busy. I don't know if he's just scared to reach out, or I don't know if he's scared to collab, or if he's just truly busy. I don't know, but I think he's starting to get to that point where he's getting fed up with everything coming from them. I'm loving every minute of it unfold. I can't wait until he releases the new video about this whole thing, and I can't wait to see him freak out, because they freaked out on his last video. Dwan Davis, Angry Vigilante, I got a question. You'll take this too serious about, I have no idea what Vietnam games, what is that here? Pretanga is funny. Yes, he is, Matthew Buckley.
So it's like, oh geez, okay, this is going and this is going, and a lot of it might just be frustration with their life too, that they're just taking it out on people who seem to be enjoying their life. Because
no, Eric. Okay, what you're trying to do is you're trying to paint that a lot of these people, because I'm pretty certain you know what's going on, Eric. You're best friends with Primey, so I'm pretty certain that you hear all of it from him. But if Primey didn't tell you guys ahead of time what's going on, that's a shame on him for involving you guys. There was no reason for you guys to get involved in this, and unfortunately, I really hope no one else sees this. Because if they do, or I mean, not see it, but I really hope nobody else reacts to it. Because if they do, you guys are going to get a lot more attention than what you guys might want. And if that happens, it is all Primey's fault.
Misery enjoys company. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things I could say on it, but it's just one of those things that I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole.
I don't blame you, Eric. I wouldn't want to, because you know that if you keep going, there's going to be some unnecessary criticism coming your way, and you don't want to deal with that. And I completely understand. But the thing is, I would actually agree with you, Eric. I will sit here and agree with one thing. There are people that do get hate for just enjoying what they like. Primey is not one of them. Eric, you need to understand that when it comes to Nintendo Prime, he brings a lot of it on himself. He chose to turn his back on the community. He chose to side with the corporation instead. He chose the damage control for Nintendo and hype up trash games instead of sitting here calling them out and calling for boycotts. That's what he chose to do. He brought all that on himself. He has a responsibility as an influencer to the community. He chose to abandon that.
Okay. Gamebird.
Listen, man, we're all mentally ill. There's a lot of mentally ill people out there, a psychological addiction to negativity.
Very true.
But there's also good news. And the good news is that right now, Nintendo's at the height of its popularity. People generally love Nintendo Switch 2.
Well, at that, I do agree with you, Gamebird. They are at the height of their popularity, but you have to understand, if that's the case, why is Prime, why is all the other Nintendo YouTubers, why are they constantly making videos about damage controlling? Why aren't they hyping up the good games? Why aren't they out there trying to make sure that Kirby Air Riders is successful? Why are they so focused on damage controlling for Legend ZA and not hyping up Kirby Air Riders? So we could say that Nintendo's at the height of its popularity, but a lot of the Nintendo influencers, they're not, acting like that. They're more focused on the negativity.
People love it. There's a reason why the numbers are doing.
Yeah, Matthew, he does have friends.
So well. So when we talked earlier about the sales, there's nothing surprising there. I think anyone who's paying attention to what's going on with Nintendo right now should not be surprised to see these numbers. If you are, you're not paying attention. And that.
Okay, Dwan Davis, if you don't care about this, here, let me read it. Angry Vigilante, who care about it? I don't care about this. Well, I said a lot of stuff, Dwan, so you're gonna have to like elaborate exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't care about this, you don't have to be here, my guy. I know that you're like my all-time fan and everything, but if you choose to leave, somebody will replace you.
That's totally okay, because not everyone's hardcore. Not everyone's following the stories and in the news every day. Your average fan, Nintendo fan, your average gamer doesn't pay attention to that stuff. My 3 kids, they all love video games. They all love Nintendo. They don't watch Nintendo Directs. They don't watch my podcast. They rarely watch my videos. They don't go on IG.
Well, Game Bird, I don't have to say, but we all know the reason why, but the average Nintendo fan, no, they're probably watching YouTube. They're just not watching the influencers anymore. Hey, Jay Biggs, how's it going? Hey, what's up, everyone?
They don't do any of that stuff. They'll ask me questions. Oh, what's the next big Nintendo game? That's a lot of people. There's a lot of word of mouth. A lot of people ask me, oh, how do you like the Switch 2? I've been thinking about picking one up. It looks really cool. How much bigger is the screen? That's your typical gamer. It is a very, very small percentage of people. They think it's way bigger than what it is, but it's a very small vocal minority online, whether it's YouTube or Twitter or whatever. And at the end of the day, guys, Nintendo's still the budget option.
Okay, if we're talking about hundreds of millions of people, technically, yes, you are correct that it's only a small group of people that are actually here on YouTube watching our content. But it still says that small percentage of people, even a smaller number, are watching the Nintendo influencers like Primey because they got sick and tired of the toxic positivity. Okay, what did I miss? Oh, wait, you also sat here and said that it's that Nintendo's still the budget option. Gamebird, I hate to break it to you, they are no longer the budget option. Technically, the Steam Deck is. Now, up front, you are going to pay a little more. Absolutely. If you go and get a dock, if you go get 2 third-party controllers, you can find them for about $20 on Amazon a piece. You will sit here and pay $80 up front to get the same setup. And technically it's not even 80 because the Steam Deck comes with a case. The Switch 2 does not. So if you want a decent case, it's going to be about $20. So technically it's going to be $60 up front. But the thing is, you will not pay for internet. So if you buy the internet with Nintendo, you're probably going to sit here and get the $20 a year one. So that's going to knock it down to $40 because you don't have to pay for the internet. And then when it comes to the games, you get a way wider selection of games with the Steam Deck, and you get actual real sales, unlike what Nintendo gives you. So technically, Gamebird, and within 1 year, it's going to be far more of a budget to go with the Steam Deck than a Switch 2. Just throwing that out there. Alrighty, let's see what I missed. Okay, that was Warfare. Good morning. How's it going? Dwan Davis, Angry Vigilante. I do not care about this. Why do you care that this video games? My guy, you got to be way more specific here. To be honest, we haven't even talked about video games. We're talking about the Nintendo influencers, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Day Hoaxa. Primey says the hater channels like Nintendo are being dishonest, yet he puts a new video up every day trying to hype news that isn't even news with clickbait titles. He is the most dishonest. I agree. I don't mind clickbait titles. To be honest, we all do a little bit of clickbait. We all over-exaggerate our titles a little bit, so it doesn't really bother me that much. I've been shopping the physical Switch 1 games on sale, Amazon, Walmart, and such great deals, and they're right now. Oh, that's so good, Matthew Buckley. Steam is just amazing. Yes, it is.
And more importantly than that, they're killing it with games. People saying they have no games, like, dude, they're 5 months, barely 5 months in now with a lineup. How many exclusives did Sony have this year? 1? Ghost of Yotei? Oh, the year's almost over. Did they have an exclusive other than Ghost of Yotei? I'm not sure.
No, they have not. Nope, not at all. But you also do have to understand, I haven't played Ghost of Yotei, but from what I've heard, it's worth it. It's an amazing game. Gamebird, I know that you love Nintendo, okay, and I know that you love PlayStation also, but you have to understand that there has not been one single Nintendo exclusive that has come out, except for Fast Fusion, which is a $15 game that is worth its price tag. Mario Kart World, not worth $80. No way in hell is it worth $80. Doesn't have enough content. No game is worth $80, but it doesn't even have enough content to justify a $70 game. Then you sit here and have Welcome Tour, which should have been a pack-in title. That is almost universally accepted that it should be a pack-in title. Then you got DK Bonanza. Said many times, it's an amazing game, but it didn't have enough quality content to justify that $70 price point. Most of the content was nothing more than bonus. It was fluff. It was fetch quest-like content is all it was. Then, what'd you have? You had Pokemon Legends ZA. That game could have been free and it still would have been trash. When it came to Legends ZA, the price was not the problem. It was just a garbage game all around. Why do I feel like I'm? Oh, then you got the Age of Imprisonment game. I haven't played that game, so I can't give a opinion about it. But the thing with Age of Imprisonment, that's for a niche audience. Okay, you know, a lot of people, it's either you love the game or you don't. From what many people are saying, if you're not into warrior style games, you're not gonna like it. Even if the story is great, you're probably not gonna like it. Did I miss anybody? Sunbro Nation clickbaits a lot too. Oh, a Jangle fan. I don't know. I don't really watch Sunbro Nation, but I'll take your word for it. Matthew Buckley. Yep. Everything you said, Vigilante. Thank you.
Correct me in chat if I'm wrong. Not to knock Sony. I own a PS5. I love my PS5.
What about the UPS guy game where you just carry all the boxes? Was that an exclusive?
I'm pretty sure that's on
Death Stranding too?
Yeah, was it not exclusive this time?
No,
I don't
think so.
I don't think it was.
I feel like it's on. Let me see.
Oh, we got that PlayStation gamer. You just got in. They're talking about PlayStation. If Welcome Tour came with my Switch 2, I would be pissed off. I don't want that anywhere near my Switch 2. Age of Imprisonment is awesome. Well, my copy hasn't even been shipped yet, so I'm still waiting on it from Gamefly. But you do know with Welcome Tour, you could have just deleted the thing. You didn't have to keep it on there.
I know the first one moved to Xbox. So.
No, it's exclusive. You're right. Wait. Yes, it's exclusive. So two exclusives. You see.
Okay, and I believe a lot of people are saying that both of those games technically are like considered in the conversation for Game of the Year. I know a lot of people like to pretend DK Bonanza belongs in Game of the Year, but if it's overpriced, in my opinion, it shouldn't be a part of Game of the Year.
A quick Google search just says PlayStation 5. But that's
pretty certain it was on Steam.
Nearly 12 months. A console that's well into its life cycle.
Yeah, but PlayStation Gamer, isn't the Death Stranding game or Death Stranding 2, isn't it also on PC though? Oh wow, first stream, I'm here. Thank you so much, Nora Light. The Switch 2 should have released the same time as the Steam Deck. Deck is still better, not to hurt feelings, it just is. I haven't played it yet.
Cycle, you know. We're 5 months in. We have more exclusives 5 months in than Sony has this year.
I understand, Gamebird, but we gotta accept we shouldn't be looking at quantity over quality. We have to start doing quality over quantity. And right now, yes, Nintendo has a lot of quantity, but very few quality. Thank you so much, Geezer Noob. Morning, AV. Good morning, man. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, and thank you so much for being a member. Thank you, everybody, to being a member. Sorry, I need to start getting better at saying that.
It's crazy. Not only that, we have more exclusives for the first quarter that have already been announced, and there's going to be a lot more. So, I joke. I do believe that mental illness.
Yes, I agree. There's going to be a lot more, Gamebird, but unfortunately, not all of them are quality. I can kind of accept DK Bonanza as quality, but I still stand by what I said. It doesn't have enough quality content. Pokemon Legends ZA, that is nothing about that game is quality. The only thing quality about that game is the soundtrack. So I guess I'm wrong. It has one quality feature, the soundtrack. And if the combat would have actually worked, I would say the mega boss battles were actually fun. But the problem was that combat on paper was a great idea, but it just wasn't that good.
Is a factor, unfortunately. But I also joke with it. I go a little bit crazy with it. the better comparison, and I think the way people should look at these sorts of videos or Twitter feeds that are being created online is, it reminds me of, do you guys remember the National Enquirer?
Yeah, they're still around.
At every newsstand, at the grocery
Fanboy,
store. Right? Yeah, with Batboy and the Wolfman and all the crazy cheating celebrities and all the wild stories.
Yes, we remember Game Bird.
Clint Eastwood sleeping with a turtle woman, like all sorts of crazy crap. It's goofy headlines, conspiracy theories, and that's exactly what these videos are. They're goofy headlines and conspiracy theories, and I think these should exist for an entertaining watch if you're bored and you want to check out some goofy theories. And
I mean, where do you guys get all this? Because I'm curious. I don't see it on YouTube, so I want to know where all these goofy theories are happening at. Death Stranding 2 is not on PC yet, but Death Stranding 1 is on PC, and Xbox Kojima owns the IP. Oh, okay. For some reason, I don't know why I thought it was on Steam. I was wrong. Death Strangled is a timed exclusive. It will be on Xbox and Switch 2 sooner or later. Maybe. We'll see, J-Biggs. It has... We know it'll be on Xbox soon. Sorry for that burp. But we know it'll be on Xbox, someday. Switch 2, I mean, we can't take it until it's been confirmed. You got to remember that, J-Biggs. Nora Light. Man, I miss the 2000s Nintendo era. I think all of us do, to be honest. Things are called the eye of one of your content creators that love comment on my comments. I don't know who that is. Thomas Hopkins Jr. Quality has a long way to justify $70. Very true. Very few games actually ever live up to a $70 price tag. I think he may be in love with me secretly. He could be. Doubt Death Stranding 2 on Switch 2 if it is struggling to run Elder Ring. Death Stranding 2 will choke out a Switch 2. Yeah, it probably could. Well, okay, I do believe that you could probably get Death Stranding 2 on the Switch 2, because remember, they got Halo working on the Atari. Now, it ain't noticeable. You can't tell that it's Halo, but there is a Halo mod for the Atari, believe it or not. Modern Pokemon is just lazy work. It's like buying Oreo cookies, but the white cream is missing. You have to pay extra for the good stuff. It does feel like that.
Conspiracies and goofy headlines that get made up on the fly with no facts backing them. I think this sort of content, consume it up, have a good laugh, enjoy it. But ultimately, I think that you know what? Before I move on to my next point, I made something for this segment that I want to share.
Oh, we cannot wait. He actually does a good job at editing.
Just to show how easy it is. And if things don't work out for me, on Game Bird Classic or Nintendo, maybe I could join these guys. I think I have some skill. I'm thinking about,
you do.
What they're
Your
doing.
intros
How can
are
I
good.
apply this? How can I make an ebook out of this even? Or some sort of a weekly newsletter? And so let me show you what I made here.
Game World Secrets Weekly. That's actually kind of cool. Honestly, Game Bird, I think you need to go on Fiverr and put your services out there for thumbnails. I think you would do a good job making thumbnails for people. Nintendo in chaos. Switch 2 is pure evil. I mean, yeah, that's kind of right. Former employee speaks out. It's alive and it watches you. Okay, now you're just being... There's no way that there is a conspiracy about Nintendo. Come on for that one. Secret files relieve hidden Joy-Con mind control tech. That has to be a joke. Is there really people saying that there are secret files reveal hidden Joy-Con? Come on. Miyamoto haunted desk toy tells all. I mean, it's a possibility. Why fans are calling it The Witch 2. Is it really called The Witch 2? Exposed inside the Doomsday firmware update that nearly ended gaming. Okay, that one don't surprise me, actually. That part don't.
So it's kind of my inspired by these YouTubers and Twitter posters.
I don't know where it's at, Geezer Noob. It was something that RG85 said, so he could have been wrong, but he said that there was a mod somewhere. I have no idea to where to even go for mods. I have never installed a mod before in my life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Day hoax. Clickbait is fun to try to bring people in. Everyone does it, but lying about news being amazing and saying, wow, oh my God, etc., every day, and then the video is a whole lot of nothing is a dirty tactic. You know, what I think is what a dirty tactic that I do have a problem with what Prime doing. He did it with 2 damn videos. Okay, I remember the one. Sounds like AI made headlines. Exactly. That PlayStation gamer. Exactly. The one video he did where he's talking about the Switch 2 boycott, and then at the very end he was like, well, probably because there wasn't one. Now that was complete wrong. That was a dirty tactic to get us to watch like a 30-minute damn video and wait till the damn end. Or he's talking about the problem with the Switch 2 and then wait till the very damn end. Oh, we don't you know, pretty much was, oh, I don't have a solution except just to wait it out. That is a dirty tactic.
All right. There we go. Nintendo's in chaos, guys. Switch 2 is pure evil, right? Exposed inside.
You know, I don't know if it's AI or not, because I use AI. It's clear I use AI for my thumbnails. And looking at that, that would have to be a very good AI thing to use to get it to look like that, if I'm being honest, because AI is not perfect in any way. To get it to do everything what you see on there in that way is very, very difficult.
Day firmware update nearly ended gaming. This is all Nintendo conspiracy. So I just wanted to take a minute to show that with you guys. I am concerned, but I'm still feeling good enough to stay where I'm at right now. We'll see where things go. But ultimately, I feel like calling the Switch 2 a failure now is both lazy and irresponsible. At the very...
Who's calling the Switch 2 a failure? Just out of curiosity, guys, do you know of any content creator? And I'm not talking about the random person on Twitter like the keyboard warrior here. Are there any actual content creators that are saying that the Switch 2 is a failure? Because I have I came across it before, but since these sales came out, I have never once heard anything about the Switch 2 being a failure. So let me know, is there actually people saying that?
Very least, wait for its first holiday season, and if it tanks the holiday, then hey, you've got a case to make. That would be extremely unusual. But I think with how well Switch 2 has been doing, the sales numbers, and of course you're going to get people saying that the sales numbers are fabricated and fake, and that they're actually selling really poorly.
Oh, that's very true, PlayStation Gamer. That is true. But the thing is, they could turn it around. They could humble themselves. They've done it before. Like, they dropped the price when it came to the 3DS, and they turned that around. So they can turn it around. But will they is the question.
And they can't come off the shelf, and that the whole moving their projections upward is just all a front. Well, I got news for you guys. That's illegal. And if you're a company and you move sales projections to something that you know is factually impossible.
Well, Gamebird, I understand that it's illegal, but you got to understand this one. A lot of you're not really a Nintendo influencer, but a lot of the Nintendo influencers that are a part of Primey's, community, brethren, whatever you want to call them, they love to sit here and say that the sales for the Switch 2 were fake and fabricated. Well, if that's true, then it's illegal. But no one on the Nintendo side ever sits there and says that.
Based on the data, that's called fraud. It's a crime. You can't do that. There's investors involved.
Nor light. I use AI myself. I am getting really annoyed at the AI or at the pro anti-AI. I just ignore it, to be honest, Nor light. I mean, I don't use, there have been people that have accused me of using voice AI for my videos, that my avatar is AI. I have literally had people accuse me of doing AI right here and now while I'm live, while I'm talking with you guys. I have been accused for this being AI when it's not AI. I have firmly admitted I use AI to help me out with my thumbnails. I enjoy it. It makes my job a lot easier. I am not artistic in any way. I have no artistic bone in my body. And I cannot afford to hire somebody to make me thumbnails. I would rather hire someone to make me thumbnails because they can do a much better job. Because me using AI to help out with thumbnails, it don't get it perfect, but it gets it good enough. It gets it better than what I can do.
Involved, they're shareholders. I'm not saying that a company's never tried to do that before. I'm just saying that is highly illegal. You cannot do that. They're not.
Yeah, exactly, Matthew Buckley. AI is here, just is. Nintendo humbled, LOL. I think you have a better chance at getting God of War on the Xbox first. That may happen soon, PlayStation Gamer. That you never know. Nintendo wants that money and they got to make up somehow for all those failed live service projects. But yeah, Matthew Buckley, AI is here. Like, I don't really want the gaming industry or any industry just to use it to, well, like the thing is, if they ever used AI to create a game from scratch, number one, it can't work or anything. It's not going to be good because AI doesn't actually create anything. It uses references to help it out is what it does. So if they somehow use AI from start to finish to create a video game, I guarantee you it's not going to be good. Not going to be good whatsoever. Yeah, I got in a fight with my own sister because of that. She ruined my birthday because I was talking to ChatGPT. Well, Norlight, that sucks. I am sorry that your birthday was ruined. Now, I will say, I don't know if you are just talking to ChatGPT, but I would probably say that you should talk to other people outside of ChatGPT because like I use ChatGPT also, and it gets a lot of stuff wrong. First, you would have to prove they are lying about the numbers, so saying it's against the law is a moot point. I agree. I don't really sit there and say all that kind of stuff, but when they want to say, oh, it's illegal, it's like, yeah, well, Sony fabricating the PS2 numbers, because they love to say that all the time, would also be illegal. Can confirm this is Vigilante's actual voice. I unfortunately have to hear his real voice. You shut up, Brandon the broker. I like it. I am an artist. Dude is crazy cool. Yeah, good. Stephen Housley. All these guys defending Nintendo probably have kids. I can't imagine doing that as a grown man. Yeah, some of them. I do talk to real people. Oh, okay, good. You know what is crazy? We got Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 1 and Part 2, Shenmue 3, all before GTA 6. I know. To be honest, I know a lot of people want GTA 6 right now. I can wait. I have this massive backlog that I got to get through. I got a bunch of upcoming games, and I'm going to get GTA 6 when it comes out, but I'm not overly a mega fan of GTA 6, to be honest, so I can wait.
Amping up projections so they can let down all their shareholders and investors. They're making very calculated projections. So yeah, wait for the holiday. Form your opinions after that. I think you have at least something more substantial to go off of. And guys, have fun.
I agree, J-Biggs.
Like, if you want to critique a company, they make a decision that bothers you, like, I critiqued Nintendo for the stupid voice chat on the app instead of being built into the system. We now understand why it wasn't built into Switch 2. At the time, I found that
I don't actually know the reason why.
And annoying, and I didn't use it because I didn't want to. I didn't like it. And I voiced my opinion about that. Mm-hmm. But I didn't spend my weeks, months making 19 of my 20 videos about how much Nintendo sucks. And I wouldn't do that for any other company. I wouldn't do it for Sony. I hate.
Well, you also got to understand, Gamebird, I don't think that someone made like 19, 20 videos just because of one specific topic. Since the Switch 2 was announced, a lot's happened between now and then. You have, a bunch of patents that are getting re-examined. You got a patent that was turned down. You got a lot of stuff to do. And you got to understand that you guys got to stop getting so rage baited over a title. Because that's what I noticed. I've had a lot of people get triggered over my titles, go down in my comment section, and they'll leave a comment had nothing to do with what I said because they got rage baited over the title.
Their games of service initiative, 10 games of service within 5-year period. Bullshit. Anti-consumer. I voiced my opinion right here, right now on that. I'm not going to make 19 videos on it. If I was a Sony channel, maybe I'd make one and I'd move along. But you know what I'd also be doing? Talking about the things that I'm really excited for with Sony. The things I'm...
Well, I do too. And the thing is, like, people love to say, oh, the negativity only gets views. That is not necessarily true. I've had 2 positive videos where I sided with Nintendo. And guess what? They did just as well as my other videos. It is what it is. Sometimes my videos do well, sometimes they don't. The only ones that don't do well is when it has absolutely nothing to do with Nintendo. Whether it's negative or positive, if I do a video It just doesn't do as well if it's not about Nintendo. It doesn't stop me from doing it, but there's not a whole lot going on with PlayStation and Xbox right now.
I'm really looking forward to my hopes and dreams for
Well, PlayStation gamer, Nintendo has become the very anti-consumer company. I agree, but Xbox is up there also. And I don't know if you've heard about the stuff that's been going on with PlayStation about, scamming people when it comes to charging one person $20, the other one $15, and then doing that crap with the portal by making them pay the premium tier. I got a video coming out today about that. You might get a little angry on that video, PlayStation gamer, just saying. But I keep it consistent. Well, then why are they not moving along from Nintendo haters? They're basically being hypocrites. Well, this is all Primey. When it comes to Gamer, Thunderstash, Eric Moore, and N64 Josh, I don't think they were let in on what's going on right now. I just think Prime said, oh, we're going to talk about this. Everything's probably been over-exaggerated from the Nintendo influencers, so they don't really know what's going on. Because I thought at first, because I have to screen all this stuff, so I have to watch this stuff beforehand. So I know what's going to happen. But at first, I did think that they were doing that. But as this went on, you started hearing stuff from them, and you can clearly tell that Thunderstash and Gamebird Classic and Eric Moore have no idea what's really going on.
PlayStation 6. That's what I'm going to do with Nintendo. I'm going to voice an opinion on my channel or here on the podcast, something I think was a mistake, like their bad messaging around the reveal of Switch 2. And then I'm going to talk about the things that I'm really excited about, like Hyrule Warriors and Metroid Prime 4 and whatever next is coming. So play video games, have fun. And guys, if you enjoy watching stuff like National Enquirer, but, more video game focused, watch these channels, What's that? There's also, what is it called? Harddrive.net. It's kind of like The Onion. It's all the same. So have fun.
I think you just told us, did you just say to watch our channels? Well, thank you, Gamebird. I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought of a couple other things too, quick, that haven't been said. With the way these platforms are set up and stuff like that, bots are a big thing as well. How much of this is bots throwing stuff out into the world? And then also, again, with the way these platforms are set up, it's engagement farming. Let's throw the craziest, stupid things out there. They may not think that, but it's going to get reactions. It's going to get comments. It's going to get,
I will somewhat agree with you, but I think a lot of the stuff that you're seeing on Twitter is just a bunch of, what's the word I'm looking for? The stuff on Twitter, it's just a bunch of keyboard warriors. Oh, Nora Light sent 5 gifted members. Thank you so much. Everyone say thank you to Nora. The more incredible Grimlock got one. Ronnie Rep or Ronnie Reef 90, T-Man the Cool, Shadow Dragons, and Phoenix Freestar all received a membership. Tell everyone thank you to Nora Light. Thank you so much.
That's how these platforms are set up nowadays. It's all engagement farming. So, whether or not some of these people actually believe it, to them, it doesn't matter. It gets them the engagements that they need to grow and possibly make money.
Yeah, in some cases that might be true. That's definitely true with the Nintendo influencers. When they focus more on the Nintendo hate, so-called, what they love to say, they sit here and do their damage control videos because they know it's going to get engagement. They know it's going to get views. They don't really focus on the stuff they want to enjoy.
So yeah, those were the 2 things that I just thought of.
Yeah, it's very real.
Did you say anything cool?
There were several cool things said.
No, I have to.
Yeah, I skipped it out because they were talking about some bunch of nonsense right there. But trust me, this is where it gets good. I am telling you, Thunderstash, you are a godsend. I am not kidding you. What you're about to say is going to be some of the best stuff we're going to see in a long damn time. I'm telling you guys.
I'll have to watch it after.
All right. So,
all at your expense.
Well, I don't know about that. Stash, thoughts on this topic?
Yeah, so there's a lot of thoughts, right? First off, let me start here. The word grifting.
Oh, yeah.
Is the biggest sheep word I've ever heard. Okay, let me get that out there right now.
Oh, look at the look on Primey's face. I completely agree with you, Thunderstash. This is why, Primey, before you go live, you should probably talk with your co-host about what the topic really is meaning. Because Thunderstash is about to do something that he probably doesn't realize.
I am so sick of hearing this stupid word that everyone suddenly started using. And they don't know what it means.
Exactly.
They really don't, and they just attach it to everything. So let me just get that out there. If you hear someone use that word and they use it in the form of an attack on somebody else,
exactly,
they're probably not that smart. And anything
he just called Primey not smart. I don't think anybody ever told him. Thunderstash, Primey loves to sit here and do that. He loves to sit here and say people are grifting just to sit here and get one over on people, just like you're describing. So you just said he's not, that he's low IQ. That's so funny.
they say should most certainly not be taken personally. Okay. And I know that that is the word that they all like to use. And I'm just saying, to me, it comes across very low IQ. And I completely tune out as soon as I hear grifting.
Oh, thank you so much.
How do you guys feel about that word before I go on to my next?
I completely agree with you, Thunderstash. Thank you so much. Can you see the look on Prime's face? He looks like a sad puppy dog that he just got called out.
Next part.
I think it's interesting because there are some people that will view channels that people use that term towards to be a form of swindling, because you're swindling the viewers to get money. You're just not taking their money, which is what it's intended to mean.
So whose money are you taking?
Advertisers, YouTube's, basically.
But how?
I know. That's what I'm saying. The swindle.
See the look on Prime's face. He's probably thinking, I should have kept my mouth shut. Yes, you should have, Primey. Because that is not what the grifting means. You guys can't magically just change words to fit your narrative so you guys can play victim.
Is just to rage bait to make money. Like that's what they say. The swindle.
The term is used too loosely.
It's
lost
loose.
most of its meaning.
Yes. Yeah, it's used way too
That's
loosely.
my point.
Like, you can do any form of.
Oh, now Nintendo Prime's trying to damage control a little bit. See, this is how I know that this was not like a setup to talk about this actual topic, that Gamebird and Thunderstash don't really know what's going on. Because if they did, I don't think that Thunderstash would have actually said that, because Thunderstash doesn't realize that Nintendo Prime is literally the definition of what he just sat here and said. That he pretty much said he was low IQ.
Of anything to make money and get views, doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, so grifting is used in with like conning people, con artists in that circle.
Yep, exactly.
And so you mentioned in the topic notes here that even our podcast is to blame for, which I didn't know this.
I don't think anybody knew this. I think this is news to everybody, Thunderstash, like I've said before. So Primey, if you're watching, you're just jumping in right now. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. There could be many people that are coming after him. But I am pretty certain that he is doing this whole topic because of me. Because before this podcast, I called him out about something. I said that, he was an influencer. And he conditioned the Nintendo community to accept these terrible price points. And I said you guys, but anybody who has ever watched my content, okay, all you guys here, have you ever seen me do a video on Gamebird or a video on Thunderstash or N64 Josh or Eric Moore? No. Nobody has ever seen me do that. When I said you guys, I know damn well you knew I was talking about Player Essence. You knew I was talking about Switch Force, Doc Trey. We could even say Harmon Smith or Nukem Nintendo in that conversation also. There is no way anybody with any rational thinking would took me as saying you guys that I was talking about the podcast.
No, you stay out of listening to it.
I do. So that was news to me. I perked up when you said that.
It's news to everyone.
Everything going on social media all the time, so I know what's going on for my kids. The show's like my kids, and I know what's going on in the outside world in case something comes and slaps us out of left field.
That's fair. No, I look at I'm aware of other things going on. Like there's things that I like to know about what's going on that I don't talk about, and so I'm glad you.
I just want to know.
I get it.
if there's something going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of, then it's going to lead to some massive like voice critical video that gets millions of views. And next thing you know, we're headline news and getting trashed. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What even happened?
You guys would probably have to be so out of control for something like that to happen, if we're being honest.
So blaming us is very interesting. The podcast, I don't know what we'd be being blamed for.
You're not exactly being blamed. Okay. Prime is just being disingenuous when it comes down to it. You know, Primey, Matthew Buckley?
I'm not sure what sort of infraction we've made.
Well, Elemental Hero, the Shadden, Link Dragon, I would say N64 Josh's. And I guess Eric Moore could be considered one maybe, but Thunderstash, he's just a game reviewer. Yeah, he does review a lot of Nintendo games, but he reviews a lot of games in general. He reviews more indie games than anything. So I wouldn't really classify Thunderstash as a Nintendo influencer. And GameBird, he doesn't really upload that much. Sometimes he does Nintendo stuff. Sometimes he does a video on his collectible things that he likes to unbox. So I wouldn't really call GameBird a Nintendo influencer, but the other three, yeah, they are.
I mean, like, obviously, I'm not even going to entertain the idea that we have made any sort of infraction. That's literally just, this is just stupid talk.
I hate the word influencer.
Oh, I bet you do, Nintendo Prime. I bet you do, because you can't combat it.
I do too. Not a fan of it.
That's where a lot of it comes from.
Don't want to be referred to as one ever.
Enough to think that I influence whether people spend their money on shit or not.
You do. I do. Pretty much everybody does. You have diehard fans that will listen to you. If you say the game is worth it, they're going to go buy it. If you tell them that the game is not worth it, they may not buy it.
Yeah.
It's their money. It's their choice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I literally shit on Pokemon a lot, and I know there's people in my community that buy every single game.
Okay, but that's a very extreme example, Prime. That is Pokemon. Game Freak themselves can shit on Pokemon and they would still buy it.
And cool.
Yeah, look, I play video games on all the consoles. Always have. We've talked about this. We all have our history with gaming, right? And I think we've all played video games on all.
All right, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Let me know if it gets too much, guys.
The consoles. I believe that we all genuinely want to see all of them do well. That is what's best for the industry. That is what's best for the consumer, is that they all do great. Because iron sharpens iron. We need everyone to do great.
Yeah, but Thunderstash, you have to understand that with Nintendo trying to normalize $80 games, Xbox tried to overprice subscription, and what PlayStation's doing right now, I don't know if that's really what's best for the industry.
The better Nintendo does, the better Sony has to do, and vice versa. And we've seen that flip-flop throughout the years and go back and forth, and it's great. It's great for us, because this is what we enjoy doing.
Yeah, I disagree with that one, because Nintendo's not doing well because of the other ones doing well.
So, you know, to single anyone out as a corporate shill, anything like that, again, it's a very mindless, low IQ take.
No, not at all, Thunderstash. The thing is, when you have YouTubers that are constantly damage controlling, because it's not like you're probably under the misconception that, you know, we're just going after people because of what they like, because they're excited for something. And there are some people that do have that happen. But people like Nintendo Prime, like Player Essence, like Switch Force, like Doc Trey, like a lot of those Nintendo influencers, like I keep saying, they're not one of them. They get all that so-called negativity because they damage control for it.
People are smarter than that. They should be. Maybe put some more thought into it before you speak. Yeah, there used to be obviously a saying back in the day that you shouldn't speak basically on subjects that you don't know anything about. And thanks to the internet and social media, everyone speaks on subjects that they don't know anything about.
Yeah, some people do. That's true. I'll give you that one.
But if you're in a circle with a group of people, you'd be less likely to speak up on something that you know nothing about. But because it's the internet, you just say whatever you want and just get into it with people. And it's just like this mindless stupidity that I see all the time that I try to stay away from, because it's draining. It's a waste of time. There's so many other better things to do. And when I say better, like there's so many positive things in life to do.
See, Thunderstash actually combats all this so-called negativity the correct way. He ignores it. Because Thunderstash's channel is actually a very family-friendly channel. All he literally does is game reviews. He doesn't make videos defending Nintendo. He doesn't make videos saying, I'm tired of all the negativity. He doesn't even speak about it unless someone asks him. So what Thunderstash and what Gamebird do is technically what the correct way to do it is. And you can see the look on Nintendo Prime's face that he is literally not following what Thunderstash is doing. Nintendo Prime has that look on his face like, oh man, I've been screwing up this whole time.
Again, we've all echoed the same thing. Video games are supposed to be fun, and they will always remain fun for me. Now, it does seem like there's just a lot of people out there who are hell-bent on making video games not fun. They don't want them to be fun, or they don't want them to be fun for other people. And it's just it's very wild behavior. I do think it borderlines some serious mental health issues.
Yeah, but we could say the same, Thunderstash, when a game is objectively not good, like Pokemon Legends ZA, and people are running around defending it, damage control for it, we could probably say there's some mental illness involved with that too.
Sucks. And I hope people can get that corrected. But look, yeah, I was raised a certain way. We focus on the positive things in life. Waking up in the morning and having health is a positive thing. There's lots of positive things out there if you open your eyes and you look at it that way. If you focus on the negative, you're not going to have a good life. I guarantee you that. All these people who are making videos like this and talking crap about Nintendo people.
Okay, I would agree with you, Thunderstash, and I do agree that there are people that are negative just to be negative. But you have these Nintendo influencers that are manipulating you to actually think that, Thunderstash, because what's going on isn't negativity, it's criticism. Because we're tired of things being overpriced. That's why we keep making all this criticism. And that's why Nintendo Prime, you should have sat here and told them what was going on before you picked this topic or you guys agreed to it. Because you're involving them into an area that they're not going to want to be in. Do you understand that that Thunderstash and Gamebird don't really deal with all of this crap like you have to deal with, and now you're involving them into it if other people decide to react to this, and that's on you.
Or even people that talk crap about Sony people or talk crap about Xbox people. It doesn't matter who it is, what console it is. If you focus on the negative, you're gonna have a very unfulfilling life.
Okay, I would agree that if you are just truly excited and you are truly loving, the game, the platform, and people are coming in and you're not actually console warning and you're not actually hyping stuff that's anti-consumer, then I would agree that it is completely wrong, and I would be agreeing with everything you're saying, but that's not what's happening, Thunderstash. There might be some people, but when it comes to why you guys are doing this topic, they're getting criticized and they don't like it because they chose to turn their backs on the community.
You're probably gonna run.
Geezer Noob, AV got a bounce, but loving the content as always. Give Dewan Davis my love when he wakes up. Oh, he's already showed up, Geezer Noob. You missed that one, but have a good night, man. Sleep good.
Into depression.
It's so I don't know, when I see some of like these arguments and debates, it feels so, for lack of a better term, primitive.
Primitive is a great word for it.
Is that a good word for it? Yeah,
it is great.
Well, Gamebird, I would agree that the people like the Nintendo influencers that are running around damage controlling, it seems kind of primitive also when you think about it.
Find the right word. It's so childlike and primitive.
Tribalistic behavior.
Weird tribalistic behavior that adults are it's like I would expect this from cave people or
Well, Gamebird, I mean, if we're being honest, even you guys do tribalistic behavior. I mean, everybody does tribalistic behavior. That's been going on since the beginning of time, and that's going to go on till the end of time. Tribalistic behavior is never going to end.
It's like Neanderthals.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I want to believe that you're better than this. But I don't know these people from Adam or Eve that are on the internet. I don't know who they are. I don't know their life story. I'm also not here to judge them for it. You can say whatever you want. If you want to spend your life this way, if that is what you think is going to be fulfilling, or
Oh, look who is in the chat. One of my all-time favorite trolls. We got Action Hank. What is there to damage control for? Where is Nintendo failing? I mean, Nintendo doesn't have to fail in order for it to be damage control, Hank. When you have a absolutely trash game and they're getting mad that we're speaking out calling the game trash and they're trying to convince everybody that it's not trash, that's damage control. It don't matter if it's doing well or not.
If you have no interest in finding fulfillment in life, I don't know. All I know is I'm focused on what I need to do, right? And I know what I'm happy doing. That's playing video games.
The Elemental Hero, angry, not only the price, the problem with the system, the accessories, the game, and the other things that what other content creators are calling out along with the news like Palworld and Being Honest. Yeah, that's true. But you got to understand I watched this video. I know what's about to happen. So all this is mainly overpriced.
Yeah. On all consoles. I play all video games. Do I love Nintendo? Yes, I do. I love what they've done. I have a history with them. I grew up with Nintendo.
I love the old Nintendo, but Thunderstash, why should we be loving that they overprice stuff? Why should we be loving that they're trying to normalize $80 games?
It's my first. You never forget that. They haven't done me wrong. They really, truly have not.
Oh, they have actually.
I don't know about you guys. I joke a little bit about things like Yoshi's Story, buying that at Best Buy, but they haven't done me wrong. I bought it all. I've never had buyer's remorse for any of it. And here's the thing. I think buyer's remorse is just a lot of bullshit too.
Well, Thunderstash, you technically have had buyer's remorse. I've heard you joke around about Yoshi's Story. I know you didn't like the game. If you didn't feel like it was worth your purchase and you didn't end up liking it, that is buyer's remorse.
You buy something, that's on you. If you couldn't afford it, that's on you. Make better decisions.
Make informed decisions.
Yes, make better decisions. Blame yourself for not researching.
Okay, let me look something up real quick. Because to my knowledge, he's trying to make it seem like that they think that you got scammed. But is it me? Does buyer's remorse mean that you got scammed? Because I'm pretty certain buyer's remorse means you just regret buying something no matter whose fault it is. Buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse is the feeling of regret or anxiety after making a purchase, often a large one, and it's a common form of psychological discomfort known as cognitive dissonance. It can be triggered by factors like cost, the product not meeting expectations, high pressure sales tactic, or making an impulse decision. While common, it can be managed by budgeting, creating a waiting period before buying, and sticking to a shopping list. So yeah, if for any reason you did not think the game was worth what you paid for it, then yeah, technically you're gonna have buyer's remorse. So Thunder says, I just don't think you know what buyer's remorse actually means, man.
Blame yourself for having no self-control. But I'm never gonna have buyer's remorse for something because I bought it and I made a conscious decision. Nobody forced me to do this.
But that's not what buyer's remorse means. I mean, I guess it can. But no, but if you bought it, whether or not it's your fault or not, I will agree. I agree with everything you said up till that point, actually. I agree that if you chose to buy the product, I'm not going to feel bad for you. It's on you. You should have made a better choice. You could have done better research, especially in today's world. We got internet at our fingertips. But you don't have to get, someone doesn't have to be forced to buy it in order to feel like that. You can buy it, and if it doesn't meet your expectations, that's buyer's remorse. We know you don't like Yoshi's Story. We know that you don't think it's worth that price. So technically, yes, you do have buyer's remorse.
These are all just very, again, it used to be common sense things. Those days are long gone. Common sense isn't so common anymore. We know that. Common courtesy.
Well, I would agree also, Thunderstash, that common sense is gone, but you could also use that paying for overpriced products, paying for $80 games. Common sense will tell you that you shouldn't be paying for that.
It used to be a thing. That's not common anymore. We see that on the internet every day. But look, I don't participate in any of this. Like I said, Nate, I know you follow it and you have to, and this is what you do and you got kids, and I understand all that.
No, he doesn't have to follow it. He chooses to.
I don't have to follow it. You have more reason to follow it. I don't follow it because it's all those things that I just said, and it all falls under this kind of negativity cloud in life. There's enough of that. There's a lot of very negative folks in the world. The world is much more negative now today than it was.
Wonder Red 2025. It was just too short. For the price that they wanted, you could beat that game very, very quickly.
A couple years ago, 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40. It's changed a lot. And now that there's social media, back in the day, you could avoid negativity by avoiding certain people, right? Like if you have someone really negative at work, try to avoid them. You have someone really negative at school, try to avoid them as much as you can. You're on a sports team. You have someone who's super negative, like you're playing.
I mean, there's ways to avoid it also. You don't respond. You ignore it. I mean, you could still avoid negativity now if you don't want to deal with it.
School sports. Try to work with them. If they persist, just try to keep your distance as much as you can. Now with social media, it's everywhere. Like if you choose to participate in social media, which I didn't until YouTube. I didn't because of all these reasons. I see what direction this is going in. I'm good. I'm going to tab out. Okay. But obviously being on YouTube.
We got Action Hank. If you don't care if someone buys something they end up not liking, that defeats your whole argument. Where you pretend to be doing this Nintendo bashing because they're ripping off fans. Well, they are ripping off fans, Action Hank. Maybe you've been conditioned to not realize that, but no, they are. With those $80 games, that is a clear ripoff. Let me reread that. If you don't care if someone buys something, okay, I care when people make purchases that affect the industry. That's where you don't understand, Action Hank. When you pay for $80 games, you are affecting the industry because we don't want that to become the normal.
You got to do that. And I can take it all. It's fine. I see it. I move on with my day. I don't even think twice about some of the things I see. It honestly, a lot of time they do give me a little bit of like amusement. I'm just like, dude, this place, it's cooked out there, man. It's cooked. Like, oh my God.
J Biggs, most of my buyer's remorse comes when I gave those cheap indie games a chance. Well, it's probably not the indie games you gave a chance. It's probably the slop shovelware games you gave a chance to. I end up never playing them and I got stuck seeing in my buying history. Yeah, but J Biggs, wouldn't you agree? You weren't scammed into buying them. You chose to buy them. So if you make a choice and you didn't like the game, that's buyer's remorse, correct? Prime looks like Crap Gamer's Lost Brother. I don't know who Crap Gamer is.
Screenshot from the fucking Nintendo subreddit. I'm like, dude, this is so fucking funny. Like I have to share this. Other people are gonna think this is fun.
Just some really the takes out there. And here's the other side of it too, is that a lot of these takes that people have that are just so ass backwards, you're like, they should be doing it for engagement, right? Maybe they're just trying to work the system and make the money off engagement by saying,
now, Thundersash, you just been conditioned to accept that because all that is a deflecting tactic to have the Nintendo influencers feel better. That's just something you have to understand.
Totally stupid things, and maybe they're not that stupid, but maybe they are. And either way, that's not a way I would want to go about my life. Again, do what you gotta do to put food on the table for everybody. But that's not something I'm gonna do. So overall, how I feel about all this, man, is that it's a different type of console war. It's not the one we grew up with Sega and Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's very true. Who remembers the console war between that? That was the fun time. I missed that console war between Sega and Nintendo. Those were the fun times.
That one was a lot more polite as well. A lot more respectful. At least it was in my interactions.
Well, you also got to understand too, Thunderstash, that back then there wasn't as much like foul language. You didn't see children running around using foul language as much as you do now. Like even look at the music back then. It's completely different than how it is now. For crying out loud, I wasn't allowed to listen to Eminem as a kid because it was too violent. Nowadays, Eminem, that's considered tame to what some of these artists are doing, for crying out loud. So like, yeah, it's not the same, but it's just because the culture, I guess, the society has gravitated more to more graphic violence, I guess you could say.
And today it's all the things that have changed about the world, like manners, how you talk to people, being respectful. All the things that haven't aged well. They're all on display now. And it's all part of this bullshit console war. And, now that Xbox is going to be getting out of this and it's going to be Nintendo and I guess Sony. Nintendo marches to the beat of their own drum, but people will try to obviously bring Nintendo into this fake war. And it's like, man, y'all should just play video games and enjoy.
Well, Thundersash, we're not the ones bringing Nintendo into this fake war. It's the influencers that are the ones doing this damn console war crap. So if you want this to end, you got to get after Primey. You got to get after his brethren who are causing all this to happen.
Enjoy it. Enjoy life. And focus on fun. Dude, none of this is that hard. None of this should be hard to understand. None of this is serious. This is just video games. And this is an extracurricular activity.
I mean, I actually agree with you. But if that's the case, why do all these Nintendo influencers have to run around and damage control whenever we call out for shitty ass games? Listen, if you like Legend ZA, more power to you. But if you want to run around damage controlling for that slop game, we're going to blast you for it. That's just plain and simple.
You know what I mean? Nobody get.
And running around saying that, oh, I enjoyed the game. That's not damage controlling. We all know what damage controlling means.
Like, you don't. This is a thing you get to do, not a thing you have to do, right? This is not a job. This is something you get to enjoy. You know, when you go to the movies, you say, "Yeah, we get to go to the movies today," right? Not we have to go to the movies, right? It should be viewed in the same exact way. This is something you get to do, and look.
Yes, but we want to continue to get to do these things. That's what you don't understand. Oh, Matthew Buckley sent a gifted member. Thank you so much.
I don't even know where to go anymore with all the nonsense that I see. I hope people doing this, they wise up and they explore the meaning of life a little bit. Try and think a little bit deeper. But spreading negativity is never something I'll do. I focus on the positive always. Mm-hmm. And this whole thing with Nintendo too about toxic positivity. You know, I've obviously we've seen that thrown out there too. And
oh yes, and we know the influencers hate that toxic positivity crap.
I don't know that any of us have ever done that.
Oh, Primey has. Maybe you have it and Gamebird has it, but I know for sure Primey has done it. Maybe N64 Josh has too. He hangs around the circles that like to use the toxic positivity, so I haven't watched enough of his content to know.
I haven't.
Well, that's because you don't watch Nintendo Prime's content. Because if you did, you wouldn't sit there and say people that use grifting is low IQ, because that's how I know you don't watch Nintendo Prime stuff.
Like when I review games, I focus on the things that are enjoyable. I do not focus on the little nitpicky things.
Okay. I actually agree that it is not good to always focus on the negatives, but Thundersash, you have to understand when you only focus on the positive of games, that's not good for anybody. That's not good for the industry, because when you get a game like Legend ZA, like Drag X Drive, when you get games like that here, when you get Donkey Kong HD Returns, that game, when you only highlight the positives and ignore the negatives, it sends a message to the companies that they can keep doing that stuff. So if we don't speak out, if we don't let the consumers know about the negatives, they're not going to know before they make those purchases. So that's why there needs to be a balance. We need to sit here and talk about the positives and the negatives. Even though I absolutely hated Legend ZA, I still praised it for its soundtrack. It had an amazing soundtrack. And the mega battles were good when the combat was working. So even though I hated Legend ZA, I still gave it a couple positives. There has to be a balance. You have to focus on both.
I don't turn molehills into mountains. I don't do that in real life. I won't do that when I'm talking about a video game. I won't do that when I'm sitting an employee down for their 6-month evaluation and their annual evaluation. I won't say, hey, you know, these things great, but these things over here, for these reasons, you don't get a good score and you're not going to get a raise. I don't do that. I've never done that in 20 years managing. I didn't do that.
Well, I don't know. I guess it would be a little bit different in that situation. I've never been in the position like him when it comes to that, but I'm going to make an assumption that if you have a downright trash employee, I don't think you're just going to highlight the positives of what they're doing. If they're not doing their job very well, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, I'm assuming that that person's going to get fired. Now, I have worked, I've done jobs where all of us were wondering how this person was still working for that company because they were just a downright terrible employee, could never do their job right, and they still somehow were there. So I don't know, maybe you were in that situation where you kept a hold of everybody no matter what, even if they were trash.
I focus on all the things that are great, and I focus on the things that we both agree you'd like to improve on. Not that you're bad at, or not that this or that. Everything's focused around positivity and growth. That's a way of life. That's choice. So people choose to be this way. And it's again, it's a sad way of living.
I agree. But when it comes down to it, Primey chose to make these mistakes. He chose to sit here and damage control for the corporation instead of doing the right thing. He chose to turn his back on the community. That's what his choices make. Thunderstash, when you have choices, there are consequences, or not when you have choices, when you make choices, there are consequences to those choices. To Hyper Starby Cage, Thunderstash, what the heck you're talking about? Criticism helps with making games better. The more you shill and deny the negatives, the worse people are going to get taken advantage of. I agree, but you also have to understand he doesn't know exactly what's going on. He doesn't watch all this stuff. Primey literally involved them into this argument when they didn't have a reason to be a part of it. And so now they're probably going to get some unnecessary negativity now because of what Primey just did. And this falls on Primey.
In my opinion, but to each their.
Oh, really? A new state of play? Man, why does it always happen on a day I work? PlayStation Gamer, why can't they do that on a day that I don't work here? Well, what time tomorrow?
I hope you find enjoyment and fulfillment in that choice. But it doesn't have to be this way. None of this does. I'll end it there.
Oh, then he went back to that. Oh, yeah, trust me, there's another thing that gets good.
To be honest, I don't understand why people choose, and it's not just with this particular topic. It's
oh, you know damn well why. Stop playing dumb, Primey.
All the hate topics out there. Why people just choose to be angry all the time. I get it. I get getting the opinion out there. It's fine.
Why do you choose to damage control all the damn time?
I get getting it out. As an example, you think things are too expensive. I understand you want to state that. Tell Nintendo. Go to their socials. Go to their trailers, their videos. Go to their support page and email them. There's all these different ways that you could just tell the company, because going after people that are just enjoying it doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Which I actually agree. Going after people for just enjoying stuff, it doesn't make sense. You're not one of those people, Primey. People don't go after you just because you enjoy it. People go after you because you damage control. You had a responsibility and you turned your back on the community. That's what happens, and you want to pretend like you're still a part of all this. This is on you. You made those choices. And guess what? You're sitting here trying to pull this damn victim card bullshit, trying to say, oh, well, if you have a problem with the prices, go after the company. Don't come after us. You had a problem with your views going down. And instead of going after the company, you went after Nintendo. Why didn't you go after the company? You had a problem with Nintendo getting views. You had a problem with you getting less views. You didn't go after the company. You went after a content creator. You are literally doing what you're telling everybody not to do.
Yeah.
You're not going to change the enjoyment of those people.
And all those things also won't do anything.
Yeah, they're not going to.
And I wish they would understand that this whole.
Well, Thunderstash, that is factually untrue. Because we went after Xbox. Guess what? The price got dropped. We kept talking about how BS Nintendo's patents were. Guess what? They're getting re-examined right now. So factually, that's not true, Thunderstash.
Well, drop the price thing that they were doing. That's not going to change anything. You need to understand how the world works in the bigger picture.
It changed for Xbox.
And if you want something and you don't want to spend that money, then you don't get it. And if you really want it, you'll find a way to make that money and get it.
See, this is where, unfortunately, Thunderstash, I'm not going to go hard on you because you don't know what's going on. You don't understand. And Primey involves you into this. But I have a strong feeling that this is not going to work out for you, because when you have people that are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to stand up for consumers. They're trying to make things better. And then you go after them like that, the way you just did, it's not going to work out for you. Because also people can suggest things like, you don't have to damage control. You can grow a spine. That's what they're going to say.
Go get a second job. You know, like, I hope that God, that these people.
And I think Primey just realized how bad Thunderstash is screwed up because he tried to talk over him and then stopped. Yeah, Primey, this is on you.
Complaining aren't a grown family, men or women. Like, I presume this is younger people.
Some are younger, but some are older.
I would presume. I don't know if, like, are folks with kids really going online and complaining about this stuff?
They can't be. It has to be kids to young adults.
Yeah. So
okay, this is how I know Gamebird don't know what's going on. Come on, Gamebird. Me and you have debated before. You know I'm not a kid. Come on here.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think Gamebird realizes that Primey's talking about me either. That's where this is all funny. This whole thing was because of what I said to Primey. At least I'm pretty certain. I'm 99% positive.
It's over games.
The elemental hero, the Shadow Link Dragon. Angry, but the problem is if people call out the problems and trying to tell Nintendo their problems or whatever they get called out, you're also right on what you said. Yeah, you could do both. I do both all the time.
You know?
Yeah. So go work more.
It's overplaying.
I would not advise you to keep saying that, Thunderstash, because if you go tell people that, you know what they're going to tell you? Go grow a spine. Do the right thing. That's what they're going to tell you.
My ass off. I gave away a lot of years working like crazy ass hours. And you know what? I still found a way in time to play. But if you want to do this, make more money, work on yourself.
But see, the problem is you shouldn't have to. These games are being overpriced. They're not worthy of those price tags. We could stand up and get them lowered.
Try to grow. If you don't like.
Yep, exactly, PlayStation Gamer. I'm 35. Now, there are some people that do this similar type of content that are in their 20s. That's true.
Your job, you don't make enough. Keep working your job. Look for a better job. All the basics.
Now, if they're under 18 years old, I really hope they're not watching this channel because this channel is not meant for minors. It is not meant for children. So if you are underage, do not watch this content.
All the things we know, go do that. But don't go online and complain. They ain't going to do shit.
It did stuff when it came to Xbox. It got the patent office to re-examine Nintendo's patent. So that is just factually not true, Thunderstash.
It's annoying. Spreads negativity. I don't want to hear it. The company ain't going to change. They need someone to tell them this.
I would not advise you to do that. I seriously would not. Gamebird, if you are Thunderstash's friend, I would advise you that you need to get with him and tell him, no, do not do it.
And I don't want to make a YouTube channel that gives out sermons like that. You know what I mean? Like I probably could, but I don't want to do that.
I would not advise you to do that. Thunderstash, do not do that. Gamebird, if you are watching this, please, you need to tell him he will not be ready for the hailstorm that will follow if he does something like that. There is a reason why Nintendo Prime does not tend to do that kind of message, because that message is to the extreme. Now, again, I'm not going to go that hard on you, Thunderstash, because you don't know everything and what's going on.
Do an ebook.
An ebook. Yeah, I think some of it has to do a little bit with, like in terms of for those that thought the prices and all the stuff were like going to make Switch 2 just do so much worse and everything. And I understood all the arguments being made, but for the general consumer base, we've all been kind of conditioned over the last 3 years, really, that everything's more expensive than it used to be.
No, that's what you're trying. That's what Nintendo conditioned you to think. And then you're in turn trying to condition the rest of everybody else to accept that. Because this ain't the first time you say that. Yeah, things have gone up in price. You want to know what's also gone up in price? Record-breaking profits during all that so-called inflation, Primey. They could release these games at $60 and they're still going to make profit. It's nothing more than pure greed.
Everything has gone up in price and is more expensive than it used to be. So seeing the prices go up might not be as off-putting because people.
Oh, exactly, Elemental Hero. Also angry. That's why other content creators have been having voicing for the people that didn't have a voice because of the many problems that Nintendo is doing. Oh, that's very true. Another thing that they don't understand is like before I started doing this type of content, there were many of us that tried to speak out. There were many of us that were saying, hey, but we kept getting bashed and bullied by the Nintendo community. I just got fed up with it. You know, like everybody thinks, or like a lot of the Nintendo influencers try to say, oh, I was just copying everybody else. I didn't know about anybody else doing this type of stuff when I started doing it. I found out about it afterwards.
People might have already been expecting.
Oh, PlayStation Gamer, drink one for me, man. I've already drank all my coffee.
Because everything else has gone up. Price of cell phones, price of TVs, price of building houses, getting new siding, groceries, gas, you know, price of cars.
Health insurance.
Health insurance is another big one that's gone way up. So I know that personally, I do private health insurance. I've watched the increase.
Yes, it's true, but those are false comparisons, Primey. Okay. Generally, we are tend to, you know, exclude some of that stuff because they're considered necessities. But there are people throwing fits over that stuff too. People are constantly complaining how expensive medical insurance is. People are constantly complaining about how expensive groceries are. Okay, this ain't nothing new. People are still complaining about that stuff too. You can complain about both.
So yeah, I think there's some of that where like if you thought this was going to be a bigger issue with general consumers, then you really don't know. The only true issue is if people run out of money that they can't buy luxury goods. And that's a much larger economic problem to get into.
No. Because this isn't a luxury product. Gaming is a hobby, not a luxury. There's a difference.
Then you can
You're perfectly okay with it getting overpriced to becoming luxury.
blame one individual item being more expensive than you wanted it to be. So for all the rest, look, I think there's a point to getting.
But even with luxury, you got to understand too, if we're talking about luxury purses, luxury cars, guess what? There are cheaper options that are reasonable.
Your critiques out there, I think that's okay. I think sometimes change even comes from those critiques. We have seen companies react.
Well, Wooden's Throne, I wouldn't say they get attacked, they get criticized. There's a bit of a difference. I do not support the attacking because attacking is illegal. Criticism, that's all fair.
At times when enough of that critique gets put out there. But that critique has to be backed up with results. Like all the drop the price, drop the price. Guess what? If Switch 2 wasn't selling well, they might have dropped the price. But guess what it's doing? Breaking records. So you could scream drop the price in every single Nintendo Direct thing they do. Why would they drop the price of something that is selling at a record pace?
Because you condition them to accept these terrible price points. Not just you, many other people. And I bet you're hating the word influence. You're hating the word condition because you can't combat it. That is why.
Doesn't even make sense. If anything, you should be happy the price doesn't go higher. Because that's what companies sometimes do. They take advantage of the demand. And they can try to argue tariff prices and we got to raise it again like we had to for Switch 1. For right now, they haven't done that, and I hope that's not coming. But
oh, it's gonna come. Without a shadow of a doubt, I do believe it's gonna come.
Yeah, I think everything is mostly fairly priced. There's some things I don't like, but I just feel
no, most of it's not fairly priced. That's a lie.
But they just need to find something better to do with their lives.
Stop damage controlling. Do your responsibility. We wouldn't have to do it. You have to understand, Nintendo Prime. You guys created this void. Okay, you guys were doing perfectly fine up until the partner showcase, and you guys screwed up. Now, there are some Nintendo YouTubers that are still doing well, still getting views. There are still some of them. The ones that are not are the ones that are always damage controlling. You guys, because I'm gonna make a video about it one day explaining why this all unfolded. But in a short version, you need to understand, Primey, that you caused a lot of this to happen. This whole reasoning about why it's happening now, why your views went down, why the so-called Nintendo negativity channels, why we're getting more views than before, it's because the Nintendo community doesn't want to watch you guys anymore. You have to understand it all started with Woods. That lie that he did, he gave false hope to the Nintendo community through all that negativity, and you helped spread it, and many other people helped spread it. But when it all unfolded, found out that it was a lie, some of you guys blasted Woods. But then you guys went right back to spreading leaks and rumors. A few days afterwards, you guys didn't learn anything. And then some of you guys gave fake apologies about it and then went ahead and started spreading rumors and leaks a few days afterwards. That's what you need to understand. That is why that your views went down. Our views are going up, but you created us. We wouldn't be here right now if you guys did your damn jobs. That's what you don't understand. Before all this, I was making update videos, game reviews, what to look forward to. I was doing all that and I was fine. But you guys refused to do it and some people had to step up. That's why we're in the positions we're in now.
Like, if the complaint is you're really upset with Nintendo, okay, we heard you the first time. Go play some video games now.
Okay, if you want to run around damage control for Pokemon Legends ZA, we heard you the first time. Why do you got to continue to make videos?
Go play with your kids. Go do something else. You got.
I mean, we could say the same thing to you.
Your complaint out. You don't have to repeat it ad nauseum every day with new words.
Neither do you, but you do it all the damn time. You didn't have to sit here and make videos. Oh, I'm tired of all the negativity about Mario Kart World. You didn't need to make the video about damage controlling for Metroid Prime 4. You didn't need to make the videos damage controlling, doing like 3, I think, in 1 week about damage controlling for Pokemon Legends ZA. You chose to do that. We heard you the first damn time. You didn't need to continue to do it.
You know, like, I'll put it this way. Like, people always talk about, oh, you're cheering on a multi-billion-dollar company. I don't give a fuck what happens to Nintendo, the company. But I do think it's really, really weird to cheer on.
No, you say that, but that's factually a lie. You want to know how I know it's a lie? Why haven't you played Final Fantasy VII yet? Prime example.
The downfall of companies that have personally done no harm to you.
Well, Kira Lunar, I'm still questioning if that 10 million Switch 2 units is true or not. You have to understand. I'm going to take Nintendo's word on it that they shipped out 10 million. Now, they're not all sitting at households. We know that one is fact. But it is illegal for a company to lie about that kind of stuff. Now, there are chances that they are still lying. I'm going to choose to believe them. And you have to understand, Nintendo does have a hardcore fan base. Look at the Wii U, for instance. If they, it sold like 13 million units. If they would have 13 million to sell at launch day one, I guarantee you most of them would have sold day one. There is a hardcore fan base, but eventually the hype is going to die down. The sales are going to level out. The gaming systems generally always sell like in the beginning of the launch period, like within that first year. They sell like crazy because the hype is at its highest.
This isn't a company that, was screwing over all their employees like Enron and all their investors. This isn't a company that is, actively going out there and putting working conditions in place.
So pretty much what you're saying, it's okay to screw over us just so they're not screwing over them. And I would agree. It's not good to screw over your employees, but they did lay off 200 people. They did screw over 200 employees. So you can't sit here and say this. Now, I enjoy when a company treats their employees good, but at the end of the day, Prime, it's about my wallet. I care more about my wallet than anything else.
That are subhuman. There are companies doing all this bullshit. Is this even a company where they're piling all the money into the corporate heads? They're not getting
or assaulting their staff. We've heard that in the industry.
Yeah.
Okay, all that can be true, but guess what? That doesn't take away the fact what they're doing, that they're treating us like shit. Pretty much, Prime, what you're saying right now is to accept that it's okay that we're getting ripped off as long as the employees are getting treated good. Do you understand that?
It got so bad. It's kind of swept under the rug because of the purchase, but it got so bad with Activision Blizzard King that someone committed suicide over it.
I think, honestly, I mentioned this last time we discussed this.
Okay, that one's wrong. We don't need to be talking about that.
I really believe that a major driving force for this is the fact that Nintendo's at the height of its popularity right now. People love Nintendo right now.
That's exactly what Matthew James, that's exactly what he's pretty much saying.
And if you're in those small circles online, you're like, no, they don't. People hate the Switch 2. People think it's a failure. People think Nintendo's corrupt. You're in a small bubble, my friend.
Well, I mean, Nintendo is corrupt. But if we're being honest, they're all corrupt. That's just a fact.
Overwhelming majority of people who play games and enjoy video games love Nintendo Switch. Households, kids, families, young adults. The majority love it. When you're at the top, it's like when you are big on YouTube, like Nate.
Game Bird messed up. You see the look on Primey's face right now? Oh, like when you're big like Nate. Nintendo Prime's not big no more. His subscriber count does not mean anything. When your views are not equating to what that subscriber, your subscriber count could be 1 million, but if you're only getting like 10,000 views a video, that's not good.
I don't get anywhere near the amount of negative comments or hate, and I won't because I have, maybe I will now after tonight's episode, but I have.
Oh, you probably are. And if you do, that's going to be Prime's fault. Any hate you guys receive or negativity or criticism, it's all on Prime. This is Prime's fault.
Less than 3,000 subscribers on my channel. You have over 100,000. So people are going to harp on you way harder. I'm sure I'd be getting just as much hate as you are if we had equal subscriber counts.
No, you probably wouldn't get as much hate now. Yeah, that's true. The more subscribers you have, the more hate you're probably going to get. I get hate all the damn time. It just goes with the territory. Is it fair? No. But you can eliminate some of the unnecessary. Prime does not. Like, Gabriel, you got to watch his content. He damage controls for the company. He brings so much of it upon himself.
So it's people say, oh, you're doing something right when people are coming after you. There's a lot of weird, like Stash said, weird console war stuff that doesn't really make sense. And it was fun in the 90s. It was that kind of playground console war with like fun, like friendly kind of insults at each other. It never got too deep. Nintendo games are for kids. Sega games are for adults. Sega's got better graphics. Like it never got you're a pathetic loser shill who supports a corrupt business that it wasn't like weird like that followed by incessant harassment. You'd have like
well, this ain't really harassment. There are some people that get harassed, but outside of the doxing and the death threats, stuff like that, which I don't agree with, all that other stuff, it's not really harassment.
A 5-minute debate on the schoolyard, and then it was over.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's why you're wrong. Because Gamebird, you're not built with blast processing.
Nailed it.
That's right. That is true. Not yet, at least.
Those old school console wars were kind of fun.
Come on, N64 Josh.
I was going through my tags on YouTube because I never ever check that, and I found a tag of all of us, and I went and watched the video of somebody watching.
He's talking
pausing
about
after
me.
each thing we say, like one of these podcasts, and I was like, this is wild to me. This is absolutely wild to me. And
you'll get another tag. Don't you worry.
Well, you should be flattered.
Oh,
you should be flattered.
You should
people
be.
are obsessed with you.
Yes,
They
they
love
are.
to watch you.
Oh, yes,
They love
we
to
are.
listen to you.
They're pumping your watch.
Exactly.
They like to soak up all that N64 Josh goodness.
no, it was this show. I just got tagged. It was
Well, if we're being honest, I'm pumping up Gamebird's Classics watch hours because he needs it more. Would I get a subscriber? I think so. Yep. Thank you, Kong Dunk, for subscribing. Thank you so much.
I happened to be on the episode that night, and it's just listening to us and then pausing and giving their commentary and then
What
listening.
he really meant to say is you're welcome for the attention.
Oh, that's what. Okay, that's better.
Yes, you're welcome for the attention, N64 Josh. I really hope that you watch the video. Maybe you learned something.
Oh, that's funny. I know some channels.
I know
that do
he's
that.
talking about me.
Like I understand reaction content and stuff, and I get it in live streams at times. But dude, I see entire videos dedicated to it at times, and I'm like, oh.
All right, we're gonna skip ahead now because it's pretty much over with. Because we got to get into player essence. We got good old player essence next.
Million.
Oh wait, let's. Let me.
Okay. Well, I believe it is time for Gamer Classics topic.
There we go. Okay, now we got player essence.
6 million in the first 4 days. And then after that, what did they do? 200,000 units plus 201,000 units in Japan in 3 or 4 days. By the way, that 201,000 was more systems that they sold in Japan for the whole month of September in 1 week of.
Of course, but why do so many sell in Japan, OJ? Why is that? Does it have something to do with them having a much cheaper console? That could have something to do with it. I guarantee you, if you would give us a Switch 2 for $330, they would be sold out to this day.
Pokemon Legends launch. What do you guys think?
Am I right, guys? If they drop the price down to $330 for the Switch 2 right now, do you think you would ever see any on the shelves?
Think is going to happen in the holiday season when Nintendo truly bulks up? Because remember, there was that production thing from Bloomberg that they upped it to 25 million. What do you guys think is going to happen?
25. I thought it was 19 million. Did they up it to 25 million? That's news to
They
me.
sold 200,000 units in 1 week in Japan, 201,000 in 1 week in Japan, which actually beat out the whole total for September. Let's stop
lying to these people.
So the Switch 2 isn't selling out, so the shipped numbers could completely inflate what customers are actually buying this early on in a console's life cost when you look at Saudi Arabia
I mean, it's always a possibility, but I doubt it is.
in sales and cross-reference it with the flight cost you get declined.
Yeah, I mean, when you know when a dude brings up Middle Eastern sales and stuff like that, bro, that's when you know they're cooked. That's when you know that they're grasping at.
I mean, not really. That's called news. Maybe you should have integrity and report on all the news, whether it makes Nintendo look bad or not. But unfortunately, you like to cherry pick the news to make it look good is what you do.
Straws and hoping and praying that the grift will somehow.
That's why you always sit here and say, you always talk about Japan. You always say, oh, look at how many they sold. But you never say the reason why. You just assume that it's, oh, they're so popular. You never want to sit here and say, oh, well, they get one at such a steep discount compared to everybody else. You never want to mention that.
Somehow back them up, but there is no more grifting. There is no more. I mean, you can lie. They're going to lie. They're going to try to find ways. And guys,
well, Thunder Sash was definitely talking about player essence when he said the low IQ when he came to the grifting. Am I right?
this is not about glazing. This is about telling the truth. The reason why I'm being funny and defiant about it is because I don't like lying. I do not like lying. Once again, I have not.
Really? Bullshit. Because you had no problem with Woods lying. You have no problem with Dreamcast guy lying. You have no problem with RGT85 lying. Why don't you ever hold them accountable, player essence? If you don't like lying, why don't you hold them accountable?
Not made any type of argument against people that just have straight up, I don't like the $80 Mario Kart, or I don't like, the fact that the $20 DLC packs, or I think that there should have been more of this. Like, that's fine. Critique is fine. I do it myself too, but let's not lie about sales. That's the only thing that I'm saying, fam, because it leads to NDS. Lying about sales.
Well, I agree people shouldn't be lying and spreading misinformation, but you are just as bad as people that lie. OJ, you're disingenuous with it. Sometimes you do lie. I've caught you in lies before. I have evidence of it. But you are disingenuous sometimes. Oh, we got Omnipoint. I can't say the whole name. Sorry. I haven't heard from you in a while. That's why avoiding fallacies, cherry picking is one of them. I agree.
Is one of the early symptoms that you have NDS, and that you're liable, or you're liable, or the potential to lie about more things is.
I mean, pretty much. Whenever people say you have Nintendo Switch 2 derangement syndrome, you've lost all credibility at that point. You're just using it to attack people at this point. You use it whenever people criticize, and then you just keep adding more and more to it on what qualifies for that.
Possible, especially if you have a channel, and you can start manipulating things and people will believe you, because a lot of people are really stupid.
You manipulate stuff all the damn time. When you don't include the whole facts and cherry pick them, you are literally manipulating people's perception.
So that's the only reason why I don't like lying about sales, because sales numbers, it's one thing to have an opinion, and an opinion is an opinion. Everyone has one, but sales numbers are supposed to be looked at as facts. Sales are that. So when you start trying to manipulate.
I agree, but see, you take the context out of it. That's what you love to do.
And fudge those to fit your goal or your narrative, that I think turns people even a bit, it lights off a little bit of a twitch in them, oh, now I can go even harder on this, I can be even crazier. It lights that up, because now you feel like you have numbers to back up your insanity. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, we can say the same thing about you guys when you're constantly damage controlling, and whenever people stroke your ego, it's like, oh, you get that little spark just like that, you got to keep going, keep damage controlling
to back up your mental illness. So I think that's the issue that I have with it. Outside, I just don't like people lying,
Again, if you don't like people lying, why is Wood still a homie? Why is RGT85? Why is Dreamcast guy? Why are they all homies then? If you don't like lying, why aren't you consistent about it? Why don't you hold them accountable?
So yeah, man. Says yes, Switch 2 flopped in South Sudan. Cardusan, what's up, man? Shout outs, man. Thank you for the support. Jordan's going to end no player pull off 2 repeats in the career. It'll never happen again. Yep.
I should add that part out.
That's what I'm saying, Superpower. Once again, regular critique is fine. I want to make sure that I'm very clear, very, very clear with that. I don't care about that. I said nothing to nobody that has ever been like that. That's cool.
No, that's not true. Because just wait, the reason why we're reacting to him, there's going to be one theme of today's stream. We're only reacting to 3 of the videos, but I have caused all 3 of these, or I've had some part in all 3 of these happening. And he eventually gets to me where he gets triggered, has a little mini meltdown because of what I said. And he's like, oh, criticism is fine. Then why, when I say something, why do you get triggered and have a meltdown over it?
understand. I mean, I don't have to agree with everything. There's some things I don't agree with, but that's fine too. Who cares if I don't agree? It's an opinion. Nobody
just
cares.
wait it.
But what I do care about is make
You
sure I
care.
give you guys the right information. Listen, guys, it's all what it's all.
Then why aren't you being completely honest? Why don't you sit here and include why Japan sales are so high?
That's it. Like, it's all what it's all. Now let's get to Donkey Kong Bonanza, because there's a lot of stupidness with this too. I saw people.
Oh, this is all because of me. But he is so disingenuous about it. He doesn't even include all the information. Honestly, he's just wrong. I don't know if it's because he suffers from brain rot or he's just lying, but he says so much misinformation.
I saw weirdos on Twitter. I saw somebody who keeps on trying to get me involved in their complete nonsense. I already had Dan and Kakuzu this person. I don't know why you keep on trying to tag me and get me involved in this BS, bro. No mas, no more.
I know you don't want it. The reason why you banned me on Twitter is because you couldn't handle the criticism, because you would have gotten completely and utterly destroyed. We all know it.
I don't want any more of it, okay? We already had done and Kazuku'd you. There ain't no reason for me to go back because we already cooked you, fam. We already did it. So I don't got nothing to say. But I saw this.
Well, the thing is, if you supposedly cooked me and destroyed me, why didn't you ever respond to the criticism? Why did you run away and hide like a coward? And also, this is how stupid OJ is. He banned me on Twitter and he thinks that I sat here and tagged him. You can't tag people when you ban them. Okay? I can't message you. I can't interact with your posts or anything. All I can do is view them. I can't tag you. I can't message you. So guess what? That means I'm not the one that tags you, you fucking idiot. Somebody tagged me, you, Primey, and someone else in a post. And then Primey responded, so I responded to what Primey said. Okay, that's how it all started. Maybe you should learn to use those degrees that you supposedly have. Because if you really do have 2 college degrees, but you don't understand how a ban works on Twitter, you need to go get your damn money back, because those damn degrees are sure not coming in handy right about now.
That's because Nintendo Prime responded to it. So I'm just thinking like, oh my goodness, talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza, this and that, and I don't think it's gonna sell. It's like,
Well, I never, you didn't even read it correctly. I said that at first I did think Donkey Kong was going to sell, and I didn't think it was going to sell as much as it did. I thought it would hit 2 million originally, but they weren't coming out with the sales figures, so I didn't think it was going to sell. But what I said was it shouldn't have sold that much because it wasn't worth the price tag.
like, bro, nobody cares what you think if it's gonna sell or not.
Then why are you getting all triggered because of what I said?
Obviously, it was selling.
Well, no shit. It came out.
Bro, the numbers are there. We saw the numbers in Japan.
Oh, Betbull Zexel, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. No moss with player essence bullshit. Exactly. When he says no moss, he just doesn't want to get destroyed is all it is. He knows he can't stand on his own. That's why whenever I send him criticism, he ran away and hid every time.
We saw the numbers in Europe. We see the UK. We see the European, the French numbers, the Spain numbers. All of them had Donkey Kong Bonanza at the top of the charts. We see the MPD numbers. We see Nintendo Switch numbers. We see the eShop numbers. We see the Amazon numbers. People.
Guess what? I never said that it didn't. I said that it shouldn't have sold well. So why are you going on this rant about it selling well? All I said was it shouldn't have sold well.
I think that I just make this stuff up because I'm trying to because I'm fanboy shill. They think I just make this stuff up like I'm just doing it because I'm hoping and I'm praying and I'm please, let me.
There's a meme if anybody wants to create one out of, I guarantee you he was doing that like, oh, pretty, please, Daddy Nintendo. He's always constantly rubbing his forehead, hoping a genie pops out, that he can grant him a magical wish to sit here and make the Wii U a success. But guess what? Player Essence, you're having a meltdown over nothing. I said that it shouldn't have sold that well.
Click my heels 3 times, and then you get a wish that a Donkey Kong Bonanza does wee well, and then Nintendo will notice these and play. Like, bro, I'm just going off of the information that is publicly available.
Yeah, okay, and I said that it shouldn't have sold well. Do you not know how to read, Player Essence?
That's all I'm doing. So when people say, oh, it's not gonna, bro, we could tell that it was selling well. We knew it was going to sell well.
Okay, I acknowledge that it sold well. I said it shouldn't have sold well. So what's your point? Get to your point already.
There was a lot of hype behind the game. The reviews of the game were really good.
Yes, it was overhyped. Like I said.
Tons of people talking about it on Twitter. There was tons of people buying it on
Yes.
Twitter. There was tons of people buying it on Amazon. There was tons of people buying it on the eShop. It's in the top eShop charts. The whole, like, this is all public information.
Okay.
The Twitter stuff don't matter as much, but the eShop charts are all there in every region. You can look at any region's eShop charts. You can look it up. You can see.
Never denied any of that stuff. Are you this much of a fucking idiot that you don't understand what I said? I said that it shouldn't have sold that well.
You can see Japan, you can see the US, you can see UK, you can see, and Donkey Kong Bonanza's up there in all the eShop charts. You can see the Amazon sales, you can see the physical sales in Japan, and you can see them in the US. You can, and in Europe. They're all publicly available.
Okay.
Okay? So there's no reason to be dragged into, oh, I don't think Donkey Kong is going to sell, and they're all this. It's like, bro, nobody cares what you think. I don't care.
Obviously, you do care because you're getting triggered over what I said. And I said that it shouldn't have sold.
What you think, nobody else cares what you think. The results are the results. It's selling well. Like, we can see that it was doing well. Oh man, I forgot to remove that. That one kind of got me too.
Don't forget also that to do an inverse yield curve and divide it by pi. Cross-reference that with the cheaper Switch 2 prices in Japan, and then Astro's Playroom sold 77 million copies, so divide that by Wonka's factory and Pal World legal expenses. Keep line.
So it's like, I don't care that some people don't think a certain game is not going to sell well. Like, that's irrelevant. I don't care. I do not
Obviously, you do, because I'm living in your head rent-free right now. Literally.
care about anybody who thinks about, okay, if you don't think a game's going to sell well, then you don't think a game's going to sell well. I don't got nothing to do with that.
I said that it shouldn't have sold well. The only reason why I didn't think that it wasn't really selling well was because they were being quiet about the numbers. I was wrong. I firmly admitted it. Unlike you, I can admit when I'm wrong. Not that big of a deal.
Who cares? The game sold well, sold 3.5 million. It's a good game. Of course it was going to sell. It's a quality Nintendo exclusive.
No, it is not a quality Nintendo exclusive. That is a lie. It doesn't have enough content for $70. Doesn't have enough quality content.
We saw the numbers. We saw the initial sales in Japan. We saw the debut. It was doing good. We saw the eShop. Like, there ain't nothing to, this is not a shill thing. This is a factual reporting thing.
Well, it's not factual that it's a quality game when it's not for $70.
People will pay for a high quality exclusive. I see some people say it's not worth 70. Okay. Nobody said Astro.
Now he's finally getting into it. It wasn't worth 70. That's a fact.
But isn't worth 60 though. That wasn't a thing. Donkey Kong Bonanza has double the content in terms of time to beat.
Do you understand that? Yes, it may have double the content, but guess what? It's all fluff content pretty much. Most of that content is not quality content, is nothing but bonus content. Pretty much what you're saying, that fetch quests are quality content then. That is what they pretty much did. They took a collectathon, turned it into fetch quests, Player Essence, and you know this. Well, I hope you do, but maybe you don't know this. Maybe you don't know what quality actually means. But why are you trying to compare it to Astrobot? Because I said Astrobot was the king of the 3D platformers? Is that the reason why? I mean, because it is king of the 3D platformers. Astrobot was an amazing game, but you're using a false comparison. Number one, Astrobot's a $60 game. Of course, Donkey Kong Bonanza should have had more content. That's a given. Anybody with any type of IQ would agree with that one. Okay, it's a $70 game. It's supposed to have more content. That's how that works. Did you not know that? But the only reason why you're bringing up that keep bringing up Astrobot all the damn time is because it won Game of the Year and it bothers you. Get over it already, my guy. Get over it.
Overall. So plenty of people think that it's worth more than Astrobot. Okay, so it is what it is. Like Astro.
But it's not worth more. That's the thing. Astrobot actually has enough quality content to justify its $60 price point. Donkey Kong Bonanza does not. You do understand that there needs to be more content for a $70 game versus a $60 game. And if you really wanted to compare it to a PlayStation game, there is another PlayStation IP that was also at $70 that was not worth did not have enough quality content to justify its $70 price tag. There's a much better example. But you're so dumb you don't realize it.
Astrobot's worth 60. Sure, for some people it might not be for everybody. I don't care if somebody says it isn't or not. But I'm not going to be dragged into conversations about sales numbers of stuff that we know that it's doing well. Like, it's very.
I didn't drag you into anything. I had nothing to do with that. I can't control. It's beyond my control if people tag us and stuff. That is on Twitter. Go if you have a problem with it, go after Twitter. Go talk to them. I'm not the one that tagged you, you fucking idiot. Do you not know how a ban works?
Apparent, and it's very clear that it is. Nintendo fans will pay 70 for the game, and it's not like Nintendo's dropping massive first-party games, every single month to where, like, at least when Donkey Kong came out, we had Mario Kart World and we had Donkey Kong Bonanza. So there was like, okay, this is the next big game to buy. So people were like, all right, I'll buy it. And people are
Yeah, of course, because you guys overhyped it. You conditioned people to accept a game that did not have enough quality content because you guys weren't honest about it. You guys lied about it. IGN, I guarantee you, IGN gave a fake review. There's no way that game was a 10 out of 10. That's just a fact.
still buying it as sales are growing steadily according to Nintendo. So that's just, it is what it is. I don't understand why people get so angry and make all these different types of
I tend to get angry. Just literally pointed out a fact. It's not my fault you guys can't accept it and you get triggered over facts. Listen, you don't have to like it, but guess what? Facts don't care about how you feel.
statements and stuff about something that's clearly going to sell well. You know, it's not like, you know, it's not like Donkey Kong Bonanza was trash and like it's reviewed bad.
Just because, well, that's because a lot of the reviews were fake or biased when it comes down to it. It is very well known that if it's a Nintendo game, they do get extra points tacked on just for being Nintendo, because I actually have integrity, but because of fanboys like you guys constantly want to move the goalposts, lower the standards for when it's Nintendo. I choose not to do it.
And it offered no content and it offered no game. Like, so that's just silly arguments. There ain't no reason.
I never said, you know what? When you sit here and say that there's not enough quality content to justify an $80 price point, guess what? That doesn't mean that it's a bad game, that it's a trash game. It just means it was overpriced. I've said many times that they would have priced it at 60, it would have been an amazing. I would have gave it a 9 out of 10.
To talk about stuff like that. Like,
well, Matthew, come on. If Pokemon was a 6 out of 10, then I would give Donkey Kong a 10 out of 10 if we're being honest here. Okay, Donkey Kong hands down is way better than that new Pokemon Legends ZA game. That's just a given. I think Legends ZA is probably the worst game of the year, to be honest.
in my opinion at least. Let the game come out, let it do what it does, man. Like, let people, if you want to buy it, you buy it. If it's too expensive, then don't cop it. Buy something else, you know? Like, it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You don't.
Okay, but guess what? I was involved in it. I wasn't the one that brought up the sales. Okay? Donkey Kong was an 8 out of 10 from what I saw. You know, I gave Donkey Kong, if I remember, a 7.5 out of 10 because they dropped the ball on a lot of stuff. Now, the story, I will firmly admit the story is amazing in Donkey Kong Bonanza, better than Astro Bot. But everything else with Astro Bot is amazing. I can accept an 8 out of 10, but any higher than an 8, I can't accept that. I gave it a 7.5, and I'm going to stick with that score.
Don't gotta go into diatribes and all these other things. Like, that's what I do, man. If something, for me, Ghost of Tsushima, am I buying that for 70 or 80? Because if you actually want all the DLC or all the content, you need to buy it for 80. Am I buying that for 80? Nah.
No, but you'll pay $100 for Pokemon Legends ZA. You got no problem buying that game. You want to know why? Because it's Nintendo. And honestly, I used to think that it's just because he's a fanboy. Now, I think the reason why is because he has to do Nintendo content because that's where the money is for him. That's where the views are. I think he's actually a fan of all platforms, but he hyper focuses or fixates on Nintendo because that's where his money is. I get it, man. I understand the hustle. Go get them views. Go secure that bag.
Not because I don't think it's worth 70 or 80 for other people. It's just not worth 70 or 80 for me. But I'm not going to sit here and make videos and get mad and say,
well, I haven't played Ghost of Yote. PlayStation Gamer, is Ghost of Yote worth $70 at all? Is it actually worth it?
that it doesn't have the content or this and that or whatever. Not. It's worth it for other people. It's worth. Let them enjoy.
Okay, I let people enjoy games all the time. I don't go out of my way to go hound people saying, "Oh, this game is trash." You know how many people make videos saying that Pokemon Legends ZA is awesome? Do I sit there and go out of my way to sit here and tell them, "Oh, well, Pokemon Legends, you know that Pokemon Legends ZA isn't worth it"? The only time I tell people that is when they come to my comment section saying stuff. I didn't involve Prime. I didn't involve you. I was tagged along with the rest of you guys. And Primey is the one that said, when we were tagged, it had nothing to do with the sales. Primey brought up the sales. So if anything, you need to get after Prime. That PlayStation Gamer depends if you like the first one. Okay, I never played. Oh no, I did play Ghost of Tsushima, so never mind. All right, up next, we got good old Levelhead.
So where we going next? Okay, so we got to talk about these sales and some of the stuff that Miyamoto said, and we gonna get out of here. So we got about 30 minutes. So let me go to the chat. It says, y'all know Nintendo had their investors meeting, and they dropped a ton. A lot of these YouTube content creators that rode the bandwagon of negativity needs to slap yourself. Because all the gloom, all the it's not selling, this is not going to be successful. Nintendo buyers
Well, most of us weren't really saying that, and you're just about to say buyer's remorse. It still doesn't change. Yeah, the system sold a lot, Levelhead. There's still people that regret buying the Switch too. Trust me, I get comments all the damn time.
Morris, all this stuff has proven to be absolutely fraudulent. I literally went.
I mean, no, just because it sells well doesn't mean people don't have buyer's remorse. Now, people that said it was going to fail, obviously, I mean, it could technically still fail. The probability of it failing is very unlikely. Still possible, but not probably probable.
To certain people's pages to see what they were saying now that these sales numbers
I get it, PlayStation Gamer.
are out. The 10 did. Where are you at? Where are the words? Yeah, I went to your page. I was just curious.
Oh, trust me, they're coming there, Levelhead. They're coming.
What is the 10 Den saying about these poor, terrible, horrible Nintendo sales? I saw crickets. Where he posted something, but I don't think it had much to do with these sales. Where was Vigilante? Where was our egg? Where's our guy been? He's not in our comment section no more. Where is our fan? Our number.
I've still been around, Levelhead. Come on, man. I've been around. Okay, but sometimes you guys don't go live at the same damn time. And sometimes you do it on days that I work, so I can't always pop in. And also, man, I ain't single. I got a wife, man. You know how it is. You gotta spend time with the wife if you want to stay married. You understand, man?
Number one fan. And where's this negativity? He's kind of upset that they're successful.
Not really. I'm upset. Like I said, I don't care about the Switch 2. Okay, I don't care about a piece of plastic. I've been very open about that. I'm not happy that Bonanza sold well. That I'm very honest about. Because it shouldn't have. It didn't have no quality content for that $70 game.
Guess it ain't working.
It ain't working, folks. And the drift.
It ain't working.
The drift is coming to a close. Y'all are almost like those Nintendo doing y'all like they did the scalpers. They pushing y'all out. They gonna kill y'all meal ticket. Because these sales are crazy. And I'm trying to find, because Keith put it up in here. Right now, the Switch has sold 10 million. Let me see. Here it is. Let me blow it up.
Come on. Get on with it, Levelhead.
10.36 million units in 6 months. And
congratulations.
This is not even counting Pokemon. What was this latest Pokemon that just came out?
Levelhead, please don't tell me you're going to sit here and hype up Pokemon Legends EA. That game was so trash. You are better than this.
This is not even, this does not include the sales of that game and the bump that Nintendo has received from that game.
Congratulations.
So this number is actually higher. As of
no
September.
one really cares.
Keith, that means June, July, August, September. 4 months.
November. So that number is definitely higher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We not talking October.
Okay, congratulations. It sold well. What? You want me to cry over it? What, were you guys expecting me to cry that it sold well? I never said that it wasn't selling. I did one video where I said the hype was dying down, which at the time it was. There wasn't a whole lot. You do remember after DK Bonanza, there wasn't a whole lot being released after that.
And we not talking this month. June, July, August, September, a quarter. And they have sold 10.36 million Switch 2s.
That's crazy.
Congratulations. But Levelhead, you do understand that a good portion of that came from Japan. You do understand they do get a cheaper one than us. You understand that, right?
The closest is the PlayStation 4, I believe. In that time frame, they sold 7. No.
Oh, I didn't
and they
know.
had a holiday season. So and this is what makes this unique. The 10 Den, listen to me. Angry Vigilante, listen to me. Everybody that's on the negative train, listen to your boy. Let me help you out. Let me get in my.
I'm on the negativity train. I am on the criticism train. Let's get that straight there, Levelhead. Don't make me reinstate that fanboy label here.
Preacher mode. Let me preach to y'all right now. PlayStation has always enjoyed a holiday season. Christmas and New Year's and income taxes has always contributed to those sales. This is 10 million in the summer. No holiday season, no Christmas, no New Year, no taxes. 10.
You do also understand that most of the time when people release when the PlayStation or Xbox release their systems, the highest hype that they're going to have is during the holiday season. You do understand that, right?
10.36 million in the summer. We haven't even seen what they finna do in the holiday.
Okay.
And guess what? they keeping them shelves stocked. And they going in and they going out and they replenishing them stocks. People can go in and buy them.
We will see. We will see. All depends on the software. Unfortunately, you guys keep hyping up these trash games like Pokemon Legends ZA.
Them a Switch without hassle.
They put stock on the Xbox side.
Let me hit my hot. Do you hear me? Now, if that wasn't bad enough, look at this. Switch 154.01 million units sold. And guess what? That number is already higher. It has surpassed the DS as the best-selling Nintendo console of all time.
There you go. Congratulations.
And if we be truthful, Sony fraudulently manufactured 5 million more PlayStation 2.
Okay, if that's the case, if Sony fraudulent manufactures systems, then so did Nintendo. Nintendo fraudulently manufactures Switch 1 units. Hell, they might have fraudulently manufactured Switch 2 units for all we know. You got to keep it consistent here, Levelhead. You have no proof to back any of those claims up.
Out of thin air when they knew that the Switch was approaching that #1 selling system of all time. And this is how crazy, Keith, and I think you posted this. I think I saw it on X or Twitter. People are so bent and so petty that they went and began to discredit Nintendo Switch, saying it's not a real home console. That's the argument now. That's the argument.
Well, Levelhead, that's been going on for a while now. Okay, that isn't nothing new. Maybe you just realized that, but people were saying that before the Switch 2 even came out. Are you kidding me?
Argument now. Before, they was a joke. The DS was a joke. The 3DS was a joke. The Wii was a joke. The Wii U was a joke. Now that the Switch, it was not a joke, and the Switch 2 clearly shows that Nintendo has found their lane. All of a sudden now, Nintendo and the Switch is not a home console so that they can protect PlayStation.
What you do understand, though, almost called you Player Essence, you do understand, Levelhead, that a lot of that is because of you guys. You guys started it. Before, people would say that, oh, the Switch or the Switch 2 isn't as powerful. It doesn't hold up to the PS5. And you were like, oh, well, it's a hybrid. The Nintendo influencers were always saying, oh, it's a hybrid. It's not fair to compare it. So guess what, Levelhead? You can't sit here and move it outside the home console claim, oh, it's a hybrid when it benefits you, and then get mad when people say, oh, it's a hybrid, not a home console. You don't get to have it both ways. It's one or the other.
And look, this is not, look, I believe K1.
I like PlayStation.
I got one right there. I love my PlayStation. I got more PlayStation. Well, I do got my old Switch controller. I have 3 PlayStation controllers, PlayStation 5 controllers.
Why do you have so damn many? Do you break them or something?
I still got my PlayStation 4 controllers over there. I love PlayStation. So this is not fanboy talk. This is just a reality of the pettiness that exists among certain people in gaming. That now that the Switch is doing what was unexpected, now we're going to discredit them and say they're not a home console. And
you guys started that. Just like I said, you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, oh, well, the Switch 2 is not fair to compare it to a PS5 because it's a hybrid, and then get mad, oh, when people say that it doesn't count, because you can't have it both ways. It's one or the other, Levelhead. Okay, but you guys started it. You guys were the ones that started the whole thing. You guys kept saying, oh, it's not fair to compare it. Of course it's not as strong as a PS5. It's a or it's a hybrid. You guys started that. Don't get mad that they're using it now against you guys. That's on you guys.
Try to create another bracket to gauge them by so that Sony can maintain its dominance. Because right now, people, the Switch 2 is outpacing the Switch.
Okay. Congratulations.
I think in the same span of time, the original Switch only moved 4 to 5 million units. The Switch 2 is...
That's all they had available.
Yeah, right. The Switch 2 has doubled that.
There's one software that needs to be talked about. Now I know y'all gonna say, it was a bundle. I would have saved $50 too. I don't want to hear that. Where was y'all was boycotting? What happened?
Oh, I agree. I was boycotting Mario Kart World. I still am. Completely agree. That game, no game is worth $80, especially that one.
Mario Kart World has essentially sold 1-to-1. I didn't buy the bundle, and there were several people like me who didn't buy.
Well, you're probably the problem, but Keith, if you honestly believe, and I mean this very respectfully, if you believe that a significant portion, we won't even have to go with the majority. If you believe a significant amount of those sales came from the physical bundle that act, or from the physical copy instead of the bundle, to where that amount actually makes a difference, then I got a beachfront property to sell you in Antarctica. And remember, I mean that respectfully.
Bundle, and there were several people that don't want to buy a digital game. Remember this whole, they couldn't find them, and this whole key card or digital, people want to get the physical game. I think, no, I didn't get, did I get the physical game? I don't even know what I got, but
to my knowledge, I'm pretty certain most of those Switch 2s that sold were the bundles, from what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but I could have sworn I've heard Primey say that one.
People want the physical cart, so people bought Mario Kart with intentions, and it almost sold 1-to-1 with the console. That's,
you know what? Like I said, if you honestly believe a good portion of those games that sold were the $80 physicals, then like I said, respectfully, I have a beachfront property to sell you in Antarctica.
that's incredible. And it's an $80 game. It's an $80 game.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
Oh, Stephanie Browse, I completely agree.
They, I don't know. So America. So this is how it breaks down.
They told me it wasn't gonna sell, but anyways, I fall back.
No, talk your talk, man. Hey,
Yeah, I noticed the Japan 2.35 million. I am very curious to know how many of those were for the discounted console. I really want to know.
hey, talk your talk.
They said Nintendo messing up. They said they don't know how to read the room. But anyways, go ahead.
Hold on, I'm trying to hold up, y'all. Just say I'm trying to clear this thing off. Okay, there it is. All right, so let's get it in. So this is how the Switch has sold across various regions. America's
Awesome.
3.68 million. Europe 2.40 million. Japan 2.35 million.
Yeah, and I wonder why Japan sold that many there, Levelhead. I love it how you're not being honest.
It's crushing in Japan. And others 1.93 million.
Yeah, I agree. Kira Lunar is a shame. But of course, they got to be cheap somehow.
What was America again?
America was 3.68 million.
3.60. Okay.
So
I mean, for America, that don't surprise me. I still think a lot of people bought it in the beginning as scalpers. Don't have no proof back that one up, but well, we all know that a bunch of them did because they were selling them.
with the help of bundles, we don't have to put that in because the bundles, it was cheaper, but they made money off of it. Mario Kart has also sold an extraordinary amount, shifting the total of 9.57 million units since launch. So every 9 Switch 2 sold, Mario Kart World was also purchased. Every 9.
Yes, because most likely it was in the bundle. If we're just using some logic here, it was probably in the bundle.
Systems out of 10 systems.
But I will sit here and say, if they did not have the bundle, I still think a lot of people would have bought that game. Maybe not as many, maybe not as 1-to-1, but a lot of people would have bought that game.
Mario was bought. Mario Kart World was bought. And
Mario was bought.
and y'all sitting around here talking about buyer's remorse and people not happy with it. Don't see. I ain't had a problem with jumping on and having a slew of people. 9.557 million. That's, y'all, that's almost 1-to-1.
It is almost 1-to-1, and that's a shame. It just shows how bad the conditioning that you guys imposed on the Nintendo community. That is literally how bad it is, how severe it is.
But that's not that. But okay, but Bonanza, the attachment rate is crazy. Bonanza.
I mean, not really. When you look at that one to that one, I mean, it's nothing like compared to Mario Kart World, but of course Bonanza was going to sell. There was no other game to play. The hype for Mario Kart World died shortly after launch. It's ridiculous.
It has sold 3.47 million units already.
That's better than any Metroid, ain't it?
Yeah. Like I told you, I think Metro Prime 4 is going to do good. I really do. I think it's going to get.
I don't know if it should. Not with how that opening trailer looked.
It's going to get stimulus. It's going to be blessed.
Switch stimulus.
It's going to get that Switch stimulus, which perhaps isn't as high as fans would have hoped for. What you mean? What 3.4 million is low with 10 million systems out in the wild? With all these,
Well, honestly, it should have been higher. When you sit here and look at, there were no games to play. It just showed people bought it mainly for Mario Kart World.
Why would we? I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting.
But maybe if Nintendo didn't overprice their games, maybe it would have sold more. Maybe it would have sold a lot more. We don't know.
Maybe 1 million, maybe 1.5 million, and then it climbed in the holidays. It'll cross over 4 or 5 million. That's an excellent number when you look at how many units is out there. Nintendo states that a total of 20.62 million software units for the Switch 2 have sold. So there's 2 games being purchased at an average for each system.
Yep.
So you know there was some game key cards in there.
Probably. Well, we all know how much you guys love those game key cards. Well, you don't really care.
Gotta be.
It gotta be because it ain't enough first party. So there gotta be some game key cards, some digital downloads. Because you know Madden jumped up, you know Star Wars Outlaws jumped up, and you.
Yeah, that means 8 million of the software units. I mean, when you looked at Madden, we all know people will buy Madden. It's just a given. But there were a lot of third-party games that released.
Best believe all people didn't buy that digitally. They went and got them game key cards. So they must be doing something well. And people, y'all got to understand, not y'all that's tuning in to us, but those that may be the haters that may listen to us later. This is a new system. So third party is not supposed to be selling crazy numbers on this system.
Well, not for Nintendo, no. But we'll see how much more. You know, it's easy for third party to sell games level head when there's not a whole lot of first party. Let's see when Nintendo starts pumping out those first party titles.
100,000 is very much what they probably want. Maybe 300,000-400,000. I bet you Madden cleared all that. I bet you.
And I don't see how you guys can be happy about that. Madden is not a good game for the Nintendo community. Why are you guys so happy that Madden, a cancerous, toxic game filled with microtransactions like that, did so well?
WWE cleared a couple of 100,000. Easy. Because the system is new. It ain't got.
J-Biggs, I think it looks good too, but if we're looking at it objectively for a $70 game, the graphics don't look up to par for a $70 game.
3 years on his belt with a 30-40 million fan with 30-40 systems out, the sale, and they don't even know. They just find. Here's the thing, Keith. Third party is just finding out these numbers too.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's finding out how well.
Well, I'm pretty certain that EA already knows how much they sold. I doubt that they just found out now.
Do you not know third party finna those that were on the fence? You thought third party was crazy? They see Switch. They see Switch again. They see, okay, this isn't finna enjoy. This is PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 1. They finna enjoy it again. They finna run it back. They finna back to back. No lawsuits. They finna. I'll take you back. You remember what Kendrick said? Back to back. I like that song for the record. I'll get back to that for the record. They gonna take them back to back. Third party that's been hesitant. You already got EA. You already have EA. You have Madden.
That's not something to be happy for. I understand that you want all this third-party support, but you shouldn't be championing games that are trash like Madden, that are nothing but predatory, have all those microtransactions in them. You shouldn't be praising stuff like that.
Mainline Madden on a Switch 2. If that doesn't tell you, we can literally go back and show you when EA was laughing at the thought.
That's not a point to be hyping up. That's not good for your community there, Levelhead.
Of putting the game on the Switch. Shouts out to Dark. I think that was Dark too. That wasn't Dark. I don't know who that was. I was watching that show that EA was literally laughing at the notion of putting one of their games like Madden on the Switch and hearing
the Switch wasn't strong enough. Levelhead, it just is what it is. The Switch was underpowered even when it came out.
First quarter, Keith. No, matter of fact, Madden was on the Switch in the first month and a half, 2 months. You already got mainline Madden. If that don't tell y'all, this ain't what Fat Joe be saying. Today,
Matthew James, does Nintendo have gotcha games? Not that I know of. J-Biggs, the graphics are to my liking, especially in that trailer from last week. Well, that's because they hid the parts that graphically don't look good. Okay, I don't think that they fixed the parts. And you know what? Listen, if it graphically looks good to you, this isn't an $80 game, so I'm not going to harp on it. But to me, I think we should have standards, because if we don't implement standards when it comes to $70 games, they're going to keep pumping out slop. Look at what we got for Pokemon Legends Z8. I don't want that stuff to continue forward, J-Biggs.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's Nintendo is not today's Nintendo. I might be fanboying out at this point, so let me stop.
Oh, you're starting to. Levelhead, you are this close. I'm about to put back that damn fanboy tag back on. Levelhead, it is time for you to go on vacation. We don't need this kind of level head. The level head we need is the one that feels refreshed, rejuvenated when they come back from a vacation. You need a vacation, my guy.
Might pull my coattail like, all right, level, you going into your old self. Where y'all at, man? Where y'all at? Keith, you got the floor.
Man, I just while you were talking, I had to go over here. I had to find out. I gotta see what the man Angry Vigilante was talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right. You say my name.
I have not watched this video. I don't even know if I want to give him a view, but it says switch to.
Maybe you should watch it. Maybe you'll learn something there.
And DK Bonanza sales are in, and it's frustrating. Why you mad, bro? Just off the title, you might not even be saying that, but just off the title, sound like you mad that Nintendo was doing good. I don't like.
Did you say you? Okay, I don't care if Nintendo's doing good or not. I have been open and honest about this. I don't care about a piece of plastic. I care about the games. Even if Nintendo stopped making hardware, they can still make games. I don't care about the hardware when it comes down to it. And yes, I do not like that DK Bonanza did so well. The game did not have enough quality content to justify it. Plain and simple. I don't care that the Switch 2 is selling well.
Like that, bro. Hey, I'm looking in the comments. This dude said 10 million units sold would have been impressive. Had his previous console had not sold 150 million units sold, spent the story. Oh, he said spend the story however you like. The adoption rate of the new Nintendo console is not all that great. And until they come up with a new mainline Mario, mainline Zelda, that's when you'll see this. What are you talking about?
Who said that? Is that Angry Vigilante?
No, that's somebody in his comment section.
What's his name?
Imp Shaddam.
I don't even remember.
Imp Shaddam. Slap yourself.
All right. Well, guys, that is going to be it. I cannot do an extremely long stream because I have a very important appointment to go to. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed every bit of it. I hope you guys have a wonderful morning. Enjoy your coffees. I think this was a great live stream. I've been looking at the viewership, and this is honestly the most viewers I think I have seen at once. So thank you guys very much. And I truly hope you guys have an amazing day.
I'm the angry vigilante here to fight the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Solve content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil. You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilantes calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Promise lost in Nintendo's dream, delusional faith blinded by the gleam. Defends every flaw like it's a sacred cause, but his blind devotion's just breaking laws. Player SS brings no honor or pride, throws family shade when he's running to hide. No integrity, just bitterness and spite, but the vigilante's here to set it right. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Guys, fake words can't hold the line. Sony fanboys smoke, but his reviews don't shine. Switch for shields, a corporate game, selling hype and spin while we call out the shame. Dark trays and Nintendo fanboys stuck on repeat, says the same old lines like a broken beat. Recycling words, no fresh insight, but we break through the noise and bring the fight. We're hot and salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilantes calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. If you're tired of fake, if you're done with the spin, join the fight, let the real talk begin. We're here for the truth, no need to hide, so make sure to like and subscribe. start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil. You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're